Cricket 365 is proudly supported by Airport Development Group, committed to aviation, tourism and infrastructure in the Northern Territory. Charles Darwin University. Connect, discover and grow in the Northern Territory. Tourism NT, different in every sense. Thrifty car and van rental, proudly driving Cricket 365. And Duke cricket balls, iconic, handmade and good for cricket.
It's a very good morning and welcome to DXC Arena here in Darwin, Australia. Match 16 of the 2024 Top End T20 Series, sponsored by NT Tourism. Today, we are seeing the Adelaide Strikers and Bangladesh A. It's been a magnificent tournament so far, and more perfect conditions here in the top end. 31 degrees, a slight northerly breeze. It is absolutely beautiful. May we start this broadcast by acknowledging the Larrakia people, the traditional owners of the land on which we are on. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching this broadcast. A privilege to play the game we love on Larrakia land. A little bit earlier, I caught up with the two captains and the umpires out in the middle for the toss of the coin. Perfect conditions once again out in the middle of DXC Arena, and the two captains from Bangladesh, Akbar Ali and Liam Scott from the Adelaide Strikers. Our umpires are out in the middle. Our special guest coin tosser, Gurnam Singh, good enough to join us again. Royalty in cricket all over Australia. Gurnam, you've got the coin. Bangladesh call. Heads is the call. It's gone a fair way. It's a tail. So the Strikers have won the toss. Scotty, you've won the toss.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bowl.
Didn't seem all that convinced that you're going to have a bowl first. How much do you talk about what's going to happen before you get into the toss?
A little bit, but obviously the wicket looks pretty nice. I think it doesn't really matter too much what we do first here. So, yeah, thought we'd try and put a bit of pressure on them early and then try and chase them down later.
Double-edged sword yesterday for you. You played absolutely beautifully yourself, but just your teammates around you just fell. But that happens in T20 cricket. What did you talk about after the game against the Stars?
Yeah, definitely. We probably got a little bit of the worse conditions just with the nature of the pitch. But I think the key was we just lost too many wickets. So if we can try and build a few more partnerships up top and then give ourselves a chance later in the back end of the innings, then we can go a long way towards getting 170, 180 today.
And I thought the fight was really good. I thought keeping the game going until that second last ball, that's what you want from the guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, the nature of the way the wicket was, it was always going to be a bit tougher for us, but we bowled really well in patches. There was probably just a couple overs that let us down in the end. But yeah, hopefully bounce back today for a win on the board. All right, Chasey, we'll see you later on. Thank you, tough.
Good luck, Scotty. Akbar Ali, good enough to come over. Going to be batting first today. Beautiful.
Can't help with the toss. Let's see, have a good total on the board.
You still set a really good total the other night against Tasmania. You just got taken away by one guy. Jake Doran took it away from you, but I still thought you bowled really well in patches.
Yeah, I guess it was a lovely game of cricket because it's like almost everyone's game till the last moment, and I think Jake Doran really played really well, and we'll put a good performance here.
Yeah, well, that won't be a problem here today. How's the feeling amongst the group? Obviously, you want to bounce back, but you also got to get away from cricket sometimes as well before getting back onto it today.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important to get away from cricket for some time, but it's also a really good, really important game for us, as we're really looking forward to bounce back in this.
All right, Akbar, good luck.
Thank you.
That's the news from out in the middle of DXC Arena. The Adelaide Strikers have won the toss and elected to bowl first. So there you have it from out in the middle. Pete Laser joining you this afternoon alongside Big V representative Jason Inglis. Great of him to join us. And we look at the Bangladesh lineup, Jace. Some exciting young talent on display.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing Parvez Hussain Amon today, coming off the back of a couple of really good scores earlier on in the tournament, 69, and he'll be looking to carry that form into today's match.
Yeah, the 19-year-old Jashan Alam at the top of the order as well. They've had some good opening stands, which have always been good. And a couple of the quick bowls. You love your quick bowling.
I do love my quick bowlers, yeah. So, really keen to see how they go today on this, what looks like to be an absolute belter of a wicket there.
Well, they let him go under lights at TIO the other night. Let's see what they can do in the beautiful sunshine here during the day. That's the Bangladesh lineup. A couple of changes, and we look forward to seeing them come out. They are going to be batting first after the Strikers won the toss and elected to bowl first. A couple of familiar names. again, a nice blend of talent, of experienced talent and some young talent coming through.
Yeah, probably the player I'm most looking forward to today, Lloyd Pope. I had the privilege of watching a lot of Popey as a junior. Obviously, that under-19 game in the World Cup against England, where he spun Australia to victory. Also coming fifth in the bowling wicket-taking column there with 6 wickets so far at a really impressive economy rate of 6.8. So hopefully Popey turns on a bit of a show for us today.
And there's Tom O'Connell across from the Stars, and Liam Scott led from the front yesterday. They just need to keep wickets intact in the power play, and we'll see how that will go. So they're the two lineups. Bangladesh on the strikers. The strikers have won the toss and elected to bowl first. Time to go for a quick break, and we'll be back with the game very shortly.
Welcome to the waterfront. There are a million reasons to come. Where the water meets the land, a place to connect, enjoy and relax. Open every day, 7 seasons a year. Plan your next visit to Darwin's tropical resort today at waterfront.nt.gov.au. Welcome.
So we're back at DXC Arena, huge clash here, and it's such a close competition. The 2024 Top End T20 Series, sponsored by NT Tourism. And we look at the standings, Jason, you can just tell now how many teams have had a couple of wins. Yes, they've played different amounts of games, but that is tight at the top.
This is a fantastic competition, Pete. As you can see there, the strikers will be looking to move up the table with a good performance today. Also, Bangladesh, just having played the 2 matches so far, they'll be looking to solidify their standing in the competition as well.
One of these teams will end up the day on 4, and we know that. It could be Bangladesh, could be the strikers, and we're looking forward to seeing what this has to offer. It's going to be a fantastic game. Our umpires are Drew Crozier and Mike Graham-Smith. It's also great to have not just the players come and join us, but umpires, team managers, high performance. It's great to have a combination of everyone involved in cricket up here in the top end.
Well, yeah, Drew Crozier and Mike Graham-Smith obviously on the Cricket Australia contracted panel for the umpires. And we've seen Sam Nagoski throughout the week as well, which is fantastic that they're able to get in some match time before their season starts.
So you can see the clock in the background, just a minute or so before 1 o'clock local time. We've got Liam Scott here, who's the captain of the strikers. Yesterday he took the new ball as well. That was after he managed to single-handedly keep the strikers in the game against the Stars, opening the batting for Bangladesh. Jashan Alam, the 19-year-old who I mentioned earlier, and Tanzid Temin, who they put on 73 for the first wicket against Tasmania the other night. In the end, it wasn't enough, but it was certainly a great platform to launch from, and they probably just missed an over or two when going and trying to set that up. Here we go, first ball from Scott. It's glided down just backward of point. The protection, only the 2 fielders. That we are playing Big Bash rules, so the 4 over power play and then the 2 over power surge in the back end of the innings.
Yeah, I really like that. It sort of it brings the tactics into the game a little bit more. So it'd be interesting to see how the Bangladeshis go about it today, whether they look to utilise it fairly quickly after the 10 over. Obviously wickets and there's a lot to play out before that stage, but yeah, I really like the tactical element of the 2 overs post the 10th over there with the power surge.
Must say we've seen it work both ways though. We've seen it also just bring fielders in and choke the batters as well. So,
and of course wickets.
Yeah.
So it's very, very engaging. I think for the audience, I like it.
Good line from Scott. He was good yesterday. He took the ball. It did seem an element after he just batted so well against the Stars. It seemed an element of, okay, well, I've done everything else with the bat. Give me the ball and I'll see if I can do something here as well.
I've got to say, I've been really impressed by Liam Scott. Not just his batting and bowling abilities, but his captaincy throughout the tournament as well so far. He's set good fields, quite attacking. It's been a highlight for the strikers for mine.
He has played 18 first-class matches. And got a few runs and wickets in each, so 24 wickets and over 600 runs in first-class cricket. So you want to say how experienced he is. He's still only 23, still plenty of cricket ahead of him. Big lad runs in, hits the deck.
And hits a very long ball too. So
yeah, we're pretty happy that we've got a partnership with Dukes at the moment because there's been plenty of them hit into the trees and the surrounding shrubbery of Darwin.
Yeah, Darcy Short managed to hit a couple into the golf course on Friday night, so there's probably a few over there still.
Well, we do know when he gets going. Well, we're seeing Darcy Short tonight, actually. NT Strike taking on the Melbourne Stars. One of the more anticipated matches, it's probably fair to say. Not all the big names of the Stars are here, but when they put the Stars uniform on, there's always some expectation.
And of course, Darcy Short being one of the leading run scorer of the tournament, so can't wait to see that one under lights tonight.
He's had his family at each of the games. Grandma comes along and has a look, which is fantastic. Bit of bounce there, comes through nicely. Darwin just pops it into the offside for a single, no wicket for two.
Pete, this is your third year for the T20 top end series?
The third year in a row, yeah. I came here 5 years ago when it was just the four teams from around, three teams from the Northern Territory and Tassie came up actually about 5 years ago, 2019, and then of course the world imploded. But then third year in a row.
How are you finding the growth of the tournament? You've obviously seen it, from its infancy right through to today.
Every year it seems to get bigger and better. This one played down and well fielded once again, clean hands. So a good start there from the skipper Scott, leading from the front once again. The
Great
strikers winning the toss and electing to bowl first. Bangladesh 8, no wicket for two. It's been fantastic because I think the willingness of teams to come back, we always talk about that when teams want to come back and get involved. That's crucial to the success of a tournament. If teams come once and then they don't want to be here again, that's when there's a slight problem. But everyone wants to be a part of it.
And brilliant for the visiting teams getting to experience Australia in its beauty. This is winter. You got to remind yourself that this is winter in Australia, and here we are, barely been a cloud in the sky all week so far, and 30 plus degree days. It's just sensational being in Darwin this time of year.
Did see my first cloud earlier on today, which was very, very surprising. Didn't last long. There's just a few peripheral clouds, but they won't make any difference. Joe's just having a little go with his microphone here. Too much slobber at the start. That was probably the problem.
Thank you.
So we're into the second over here after the strikers won the toss and a little bit of hesitancy, but then elected to have a bowl. And now it's Tim Oakley who took 2 wickets with his first 2 balls against the Stars yesterday. And had to bowl the last over as well.
Always a bit of a poison chalice, that last over. Can go one of two ways, generally speaking.
Well, the Stars managed to get over the line, but then dropped their game against the ACT. They could have cemented top spot and be the first team with 3 wins. It wasn't to be. Also shows the even nature of the competition.
Certainly does.
It's in the air, and it should be caught. It hasn't gone too far into the circle and gone. Not necessarily all that cleanly, but it doesn't matter because if you take them, it's out. And that's a good catch from Ryan King.
Yeah, just maybe beaten for pace there, I think. Just showing the shown how beautiful these DXC Arena wickets are, and how good a job the NT cricket groundsmen do on preparing these facilities. But well caught by Ryan King, and even better bowled by Tim Oakley.
Tim Oakley must think this is the easiest game in the world. For 2 days in a row, he's taking wickets with his first ball. He just rocks up and goes, I'll probably get a wicket here.
No worries.
They've gone hard, and that is one thing that we notice about the Bangladesh A side with their high performance. They want to get in and go, and we saw that at the World Cup, that you've got to keep going. But on this occasion, it hasn't worked out for Tamim, and he's gone for one. The score is now 1 for 2. Tim Oakley, not for even the first time this week, has a wicket with his first ball.
We've seen that in a few games now. The Strikers' first game against Tasmania over at TIO Stadium earlier in the week, there was a wicket on the first ball in both innings as well. So
it's the Mitchell-Stark theory.
It's the Mitchell-Stark theory, that's right.
Let's have a look at this. Look at that. Great cam work, just getting him right in the middle there. He just felt it on his chest as well, and could let a breath out after he took it, but that's okay.
Bit of Jason Dunstall about that on the chest.
A bit Simon Minton-Connell-esque. So it brings the man that you've been looking forward to seeing, Parvez Hussain-Amon, who has absolutely smoked them. He's made 69 and 39 in his 2 hits. His strike rate's over 145.
He's the full package, this guy. He goes really hard, and I'll be looking forward to see just being 1 for 2, just how he goes about it from this point on.
One thing I've seen, it doesn't necessarily change the way he plays, which is perfect in a T20 situation, certainly in tournament play. You've got to back yourself, and if you're in form, which he is, yes, you can't just start like you're on 70, but you also can't spend 3 overs pushing them round.
They do say often the best form of defence is to get on the front foot and attack, so let's see how he goes about it, Pete.
Well, we're 7 balls into your commentary career and haven't mentioned Greg Chappell yet. It's a good start from Jason Ingles. And well bowled again. Amazingly, 1 for none off 2 deliveries, and Tim Oakley not doing as well as he did yesterday. Harsh, but true. But a great opportunity.
It's a great level of cricket, isn't it?
I don't think he's been levelled too much by taking a wicket with his first ball and following it up with a beauty. As we see the catch again. Look at that, just held onto it. A nervous fist pump from Tim Oakley in the background, but that's okay. Good start here from the Strikers. They put the squeeze on Melbourne Stars yesterday. Just couldn't quite get it done. And that's gone high and long over, long on. Fine leg. And he'll come round from deep backward square and pick it up just inside the circle.
Just sort of plugged a bit, that one.
It did. He didn't get all of it. No. It was a little bit high up on the bat. It was short and it was a bit quicker from Timmy Oakley.
Does suggest that the wicket is a bit faster than perhaps they've played on so far. There's a couple now that have just sort of got big on the batters early. So,
well, this was the wicket that was used earlier in the week and then rested over the last couple of days. So
give it a little freshen up.
We do like it. That one's fuller and glided down there. There's no deep third, so deep backward point will have to come around and pick it up just inside the rope, which he does. And a good throw into the keeper as well. It's Hamish Case who's come around and picked it up. Got a first ball yesterday, so he'll be looking to prove his wares out there as well. But some good batting from him on great intent. We've used the word quite a bit over the course of the week, but it's been the difference between the teams that have posted challenging totals.
Absolutely. Another famous name up here, Pete. Carl Hooper, assistant coach of the Strikers, one of the great West Indian cricketers.
And it's again short, and again it's gone over that short fine position. This one he's going to race away for 4. So he's dug it in and thought he could get away with it on this occasion, but on both times, Imran has struck this one a little bit more bat on it, and it's raced away to the boundary for 4.
He's answered our early question about how he's going to play the scenario. He's going quite hard, and it's really good to see. Very exciting.
Probably just a little bit too much time there for Imran. He was ready to go. He had the leg in the air.
Got right under it and helped it on its way.
A beautiful Asian technique with the quick flick of the wrists and balance. It looks like they're off balance, but they're so well balanced when playing those shots. That's down the leg side. We'll have to bowl that one again. Ends up being a good over so far for Bangladesh, losing a wicket off the first ball, but then In comes their leading run scorer for the tournament, Pervez Hussein Imon, who's backed up his 69 from 39 the first game with a 39 against Tasmania the other night at TIO, and here he is already on 8 from 4.
Not often that you see players with the 3 digits on their back either, Pete.
That one's short, and this one's hit high and long. A chance out in the outfield, and now he's gone.
What a catch that was.
So after taking on the short ball twice, he's taken on for a third time, and he's caught out in the deep for 8. Mon has to go, and all of a sudden, I mentioned that maybe Timmy Oakley wasn't as happy with just his 1 wicket in the over. Well, he's got 2 wickets in the first over for the second time in 2 days.
It's a solid start from Tim Oakley and the strikers, having Bangladesh on the back foot nice and early, 2 for 11.
And the danger man out as well. So he's gone again. Not often you see a third short delivery. And you've got to be so accurate with that. That is a good catch. Dive forward, but kept it up. The palm was, the back of the hand was certainly on the grass, so that's fine. And nothing wrong with him on just checking, but the umpire said, yep, he's taken that beautifully. Tom O'Connell, young country lad, loves his footy and cricket.
Yeah, sensational catch out there. Always hard coming towards the ball and diving forwards like that, so well held.
Look forward to seeing his left arm spinning a little bit later on today, but 2 wickets to Tim Oakley. He's got 2 for 9 and an eventful over. Bangladesh 2 for 11 after 2.
What a start. And this is what's great about T20 cricket, isn't it? There's always something happening in the game. Like now, what do Bangladesh do? Do they go into their shell a little bit, or they try and make the most of the next 2 overs while the field's out? It's going to be fascinating to watch.
Well, Drubo coming in at 4, saying Drubo who missed out the other night, so he'll be keen to get some runs on the board. But it's going to be the opener still. Hits that beautifully through the mid-wicket region. We've got 1, they'll come back for 2. I'm still having to do plenty of work. Amazing how the ball follows you on occasion.
Just drifting onto the pads there, Liam Scott, and beautifully worked through mid-wicket from the alarm.
Do like the fact the skipper's just going to take the ball and go, I'll bowl the power play overs from this end. He's up against a 19-year-old who knows how to make plenty of runs. That's in the air, and it's just falling short of mid-wicket. Then they say push for 2. There'll only be 1 in it. So it kind of comes around quickly once again. He's had plenty of work to do in the first couple of overs.
Of course, fielding's such an integral part of the T20, the modern game. There's no passengers out there. Everyone's got to be able to hold their own in the field. It's great to see.
You're right, and that goes for, remember the old days, you had to hide a fielder, certainly a big fast bowler or something somewhere. There's none of that now.
No.
They're some of the best fielders around the world. That's just stopped on Drubo just a touch. We're only 11 minutes into this game and there's been plenty going on. Chase Inglis joining us here in commentary. Just thought he'd take a moment away from his broadcast managing duties. That's hit him on the thumb, I think, and we're going to call for the physio.
Bit of the Errol Alcott spray coming out, maybe.
Well, we did mention it yesterday. We haven't seen the spray for a while. It kept Australian cricket going for 20 years.
I wonder where you get a can of that stuff. The older I get, the more I need it, I reckon.
Yeah, that may be true, but I don't reckon you want to look at the ingredients. I'm not sure I'd get the tick of approval from too many authorities nowadays. Having said that, rubbing herbal tea on a hamstring doesn't work, so you need something to help it. So we'll take a look at the 2 wickets. First of all, it was Tamman who tried going hard and went straight up in the air, and a good catch, albeit not necessarily overly convincing, and then a really good catch from Ty Connell. Have a look at that, diving forward, keeping the ball off the ground. We've seen that in high-profile instances where that causes all sorts of questions. However, as always, the players adapt so quickly. So, just having a quick look at his finger. Afif Hussein Drubo just, that hurts. We did mention it's up to the umpire to say you can either bat or you can't.
They do have 5 minutes of treatment allowances up their sleeve, but I think he's going to continue, so he looks okay.
So we can see how important this game is. 7th and 8th, but still only a game from the top. And look at Bangladesh's net run rate. They will come into it. That's why we saw the Pakistan Shaheens take the early power surge yesterday and really put their foot down when chasing a smallish total against Tasmania last night. And they put a dent in the Tigers' net run rate as well. But the 1.82 from Bangladesh.
It is a fascinating competition. There's so many teams, that are still well and truly in this. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in today's result and who moves to the 4 points as well.
Even the teams that know each other haven't played that many games against each other as far as the players that are involved. Just lets this one go. And look at that carry through to the keeper.
There's really good signs there. It's a nice wicket.
Harry Retice's got the gloves again. He's been very clean in the couple of games the strikers have played. As always, he got a 20-odd, 29 yesterday, 25 yesterday. As always, keepers need to be able to bat as well.
Taking that at chest height, how good is that?
Still going through. You love a good wicket, though.
I do. Fast and bouncy.
Beautifully played. A late cut, an old-school late cut, if you like. It's going to be picked up just inside the boundary, but we'll get back for 2. That's good running. But it is true. Like, batters and bowlers actually want very similar wickets.
I still maintain the Gabba's the best wicket in world cricket. Sensational. You rarely see a bad test match at the Gabba.
You can see some short ones.
You do see some short ones. Teams that haven't quite adapted to the Australian conditions
I'm
early.
I'm not sure.
on their
I
tour.
don't think all the top order batters are going to agree with you there, but that's okay. And that's beat him outside the off stump, and that's really well bowled.
Come back.
Another good over from Scott, just the 5 from it. So after winning the toss, electing to bowl, the strikers invited Bangladesh A to get out there and have a hit. They're 2 for 16 after 3. They lost Tamim for 1 and Amon for 8. 2 for 16, 3 overs in, 1 over left in their power play. We are at DXC Arena for the top end T20 series powered by NT Tourism. They've got on board and showcasing everything that's absolutely sensational up here. As Jace mentioned a little bit earlier on, middle of winter. This is the middle of August. It's 31 degrees. I've seen the first cloud. It's still miles away and absolutely non-threatening. Where else would you want to be? Full and straight. That's hit on the up to mid-off firmly. Mentioned last night that we haven't seen too many teams just have 2 bowlers bowl the power play, and now I've seen it 2 games in a row.
The old commentators put curse.
Commentator's curse on myself.
On yourself, yeah.
Can there be a self-curse?
I'm not sure. I'm new to this commentary, caper, but you don't often see it. I tend to agree. It's you generally see sort of 1 over spells, and just to keep the batsman guessing. Maybe we're witnessing a new trend here.
And that's hit high, long, and very, very handsome. That's going to be 6. Hit the fence on the full. It is a little closer to the golf course boundary than the other wicket we were playing on last night, but that's still a beautiful hit. And that was length and line that he picked up very quickly. And just a flick of the wrists, and it's 6.
Beautiful subcontinent. Just look at that. Just flick of the wrist. Helped it on its way. Don't stray onto his pads.
Didn't mind the stand there and viewing either.
Yeah. Pose for the photographers. I like that. From Alam, Jishan Alam.
19 years of age. Tries to go again. There's a little inside edge on that. The umpire had no interest in the appeal, and that's the reason why. He moves to 11. Drewbo's on 2. 2 for 23.
Final over of the first power play. 3 balls remaining.
Staying, of course, we've got some beautiful partnership with Airport Development Group who look after Novotel and the Mercure, which are fantastic right by the airport.
How good are the pool setups there?
Ooh. Not easy to drag yourself away, but it is when you've got this sort of cricket in front of you. push on the leg side and the oohs and ahs from around the teammates backing Timmy Oakley. And we go back to having those two bowlers bowl 2 overs at the start, and you see a lot of 1 over spells. But if you're also in a groove and you're bowling well, you want the ball in your hand. I know you only get 4 opportunities.
That's true. But yeah, like you said, having Bangladesh on the back foot early with two early wickets, I think you really want to assert your dominance in that situation. So I can understand the call from Liam Scott for sure.
Slip still in place here during the power play. And there it is, an edge and gone. That's why.
There is plenty of pace in this wicket, Pete. This is fantastic cricket to watch.
So Dubro missed out again. He's gone for 2. It's 3 for 23. And we said, if you want the ball in your hand, it's amazing how you can make things happen. Mention how the slip's still there. He's just trying to glide it down to that vacant third-man area. And that's some good captaincy as well. Back your bowler in, bit of pace, bit of bounce. Not all that similar to anything that Bangladesh would normally probably play on, and they're utilising these facilities quite well. It's all very well to win the toss and bowl first, but then you've got to execute, and it's fair to say that our man Tim Oakley is doing exactly that.
Put themselves in the driver's seat here nice and early, so well done to Liam Scott. Some brilliant captaincy early.
3 for 23. It's not the power play that Bangladesh were hoping for. They're still going to go hard, no doubt about that, as we see the skipper coming out. Akbar Ali, very well-spoken young man, really enjoying being the captain of this young development side, this A side from Bangladesh. Said that, yeah, they're enjoying their cricket. They're enjoying their time away from cricket as well. They've been here for quite some time. Played some red ball cricket, of course, with Pakistan. And now they're into the T20.
They actually won a game against Pakistan. They both teams won a game, so they played 2 4-dayers early on on the tour.
That's a lot of cricket, isn't it?
Yeah, followed by a series of 50-over games, and of course now the top-end T20 series. So it's probably a 5 or 6 week tour for them, all in all.
And in conditions that are pretty foreign, not the heat, of course, but certainly the wickets are a little bit different, and the wickets are different to the ones that even the Big Bash teams are used to playing on as well. So great experience for everyone here. Some who have played at the highest level and some that are still harbouring ambitions to do so. Akbar Ali needs to do something for his team here today. Places it just into the gap at backward point. They'll scramble through for a single, and that'll close out the power play. And you dare say that despite the 6 during that over, that the Adelaide Strikers are well on top. They're going to run a ball 3 for 24. Alarms on 11. Ali on 1, and you dare say this is the partnership that Bangladesh will be banking on to see them through a majority of their overs.
I think the Strikers would be thrilled with that power play. If you'd asked them at the start of play if they'd take Bangladesh 3 for 24 at the end of the 4th over, they would be all over that.
So there's going to be a change of bowling for the Strikers. The skipper's bowled his couple of overs in the power play, and now you're allowed 5 fielders out. We've seen quite a few teams still keep 5 in on occasion, just when they're on top. But it's a minimum of 4, and we usually see, certainly in Big Bash times, that there's only 4 kept in. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. So it's going to be Noah McFadden from the TIO Stadium end. Pushed out to the offside, no run, so 5 inside the circle. Backward point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, and a mid-wicket, and then you'll see the 4 fielders that are out deep, fine, deep backward square, a sweeper on the offside, and deep third as well. Both mid-on and mid-off up, bit of bounce and pace in this wicket. You probably suggest they want to encourage trying to hit in the air down the ground. It's probably more an edge than anything, but controlled enough. That'll just get the 1 down to deep third. Ali moves to 2. Alarm 11, 3 for 25. Always things happening around DXC Arena. Great to have DXC Technology on as a partner, of course. Been a partner for a few seasons now.
What a magnificent facility to be the naming partner of too.
Just in case you can hear that, we aren't in the back of a truck. It's just the back of a truck that's backed up right next to us.
Yeah.
Just delivering all the Gatorades for Jace's personal use as part of his rider of joining us here in commentary.
That's right, Pete. But yeah, back on DXC Arena, for those that haven't been here, there's net facilities up the top and down the bottom. There's a second oval out the back. So it really is a world-class training facility as well as obviously a match facility.
That undercover nets are unbelievable. And of course, just the cover on the top, nothing on the sides. Just let the air get through. You need a bit of air around.
Oh yeah.
Tries to heave this through the leg side. They'll only slowly go through for 1. Alarm moves to 12. Ali 2. 3 for 26.
They haven't quite had their timing right so far. It just does indicate that there's plenty of pace and bounce in this wicket, which is really good to see.
And watching from side on wouldn't help you either. That wouldn't be nice.
No.
Everything looks quicker from side on.
Especially if you're the next man in.
A slash through the offside, but can't get enough bat on it or any bat on it.
Nice
Ali.
shape too.
A little bit of movement there. Interesting hearing different people's thoughts on the Duke's balls. And it's funny because not all bowlers, not all batters, not all coaches, everyone's got a different opinion, as is usually the case in cricket. It's only one of the only places you can have an opinion on something and still be wrong. Through again, or bowled. And we found that is a lovely shape through the air.
Maybe those overhead conditions are impacting the ball somewhat.
So that's the end of 5 overs. 5 overs gone, 3 for 26. Welcome back to DXC Arena. 3 for 26 after 5 overs. It has been a really good start from the strikers here. It's going to be Tom O'Connell who's going to come on and bowl. Oh, it was in the air. Always looks like more of a chance from back here than it does when you're out there, but a single down the ground to Jishan Alam.
O'Connell the leggy, so nice to see a bit of spin into the attack. It'll be interesting to see what sort of bounce he can extract from this wicket nice and early.
He's from near the border of Victoria and South Australia, Tom O'Connell. It's from a fair way away. Just placed into the offside. This one's hit hard out to deep mid-wicket. Again, it'll only be 1. And whilst they're only singles, no dramas from the Adelaide strikers' point of view. They'll be happy with that. So some good bowling here. Yeah, Borning. Got to get down, doesn't. So the sweep on the offside's got plenty of work to do. Looks like Big Josh Card out there. He's got to pick it up just inside. He's taking his time. I thought there might have been 3 there.
Not a lot of urgency out there from Khan.
Not a huge amount, but keeps it to 2. That's all that really matters. So, of course, O'Connell going across from the Stars to the strikers.
Obviously played some list A cricket for Victoria as well. 4 matches.
It's always good to see spinners getting an opportunity. There's been plenty of good spinners in this tournament as well. Talk about the pace and bounce in this wicket. Spin bowlers like that as well.
Well, just taking a quick squiz at the bowling records for the tournament.
Well bowled once again.
Riley Mark from the Melbourne Stars has set the tournament alight with an economy rate of 5.5. Can you believe that? But also taking the 8 wickets as well.
He took a forfeit. It's always a good way to start a tournament. He has. He's been almost unhittable. Got a big wicket yesterday. Got just caught behind first ball. So we look at the 4 bowlers used so far. Aim Scott was really good, the skipper at the top. Tim Oakley, 3 wickets in his 2 overs. Also got hit for a massive 6. So there's a real fruit salad of what's going on at the moment. 3 for 31, 6 overs in. So somehow the strikers are keeping this very aggressive Bangladesh A line-up to less than a run a ball, and that's what they'd like to do if they can keep it going. Harry Manenti now, the all-rounder with ball in hand. Scott now swinging the changes after the power play has been completed. There's just a little bit more protection for his bowlers.
And this is what we're accustomed to seeing in T20 cricket, the 1 over spells that we were talking about earlier.
And it's in the air, it's going to go down the ground. It doesn't plug, it just goes on and on with the momentum of a good shot. Didn't probably get all of it, but got enough of it, and that's 4.
That's a great cricket shot. Stand and deliver and just back past the bowler over his head. 4 runs.
We mentioned earlier with mid-on and mid-off up. And this is the time. It's not always easy, but if that's one of your strokes, you can hit almost any ball there.
It's probably the right length on this wicket. It's just an even better cricket shot, to be fair.
And as we always say, you can't have it everywhere. Deep third, deep cover point, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg and deep fine leg. So mid-on, mid-off, cover and backward point, all inside the circle. Tries to go again and gets so little of it that they get a single straight to mid-on.
Not a huge amount of foot movement there from Jishan Alam.
And by not a huge amount, you mean none?
0, yeah. So stand and deliver stuff there, but it's working out for him at the moment. Good strike rate.
21 from 14, indeed. Akbar Ali, 3 from 8, been more circumspect, but as the skipper, we also know he can go when required. Tries to hit this one backward a point and does so. We'll run the first one hard, but it's picked up cleanly and let go of very, very quickly. That's some good fielding as well. We talk about fielding improving. If anyone else has got any deliveries, they can just come and pop by in the broadcast. That'd be good as well. Unloading the truck.
Nearly finished, I think.
And can't be much more left.
Manenti to continue.
Bangs that one in and hit off the toe of the bat. It looks more like a shot in billiards than a cricket shot. Just trying to pop the red ball in the corner pocket, but he'll take one. I do like the use of the short ball though. Hasn't been afraid to bang them in, the strikers, and that's learning from the bowlers that have gone before you as well.
Strikers I've identified early, just the pace and bounce of this wicket, and they're using it to their full advantage here as the truck takes off.
Beautiful cover drive. Won't beat Liam Scott at mid-off though, and we'll go through for a single, 3 for 39. And at the moment, strikers will be very, very comfortable with the fact that they're just conceding singles. There's been the occasional boundary that's come at the first ball of this over, and of course, Tim Oakley got hit for a big 6, but they've been the rarities rather than the norm. This one punched down the ground and a little bit of protection for him as well. So a good end to the over, but still a good one from the Bangladesh point of view. They'll take the 8 from it. 3 for 39. We are 7 overs in after the strikers won the toss and elected to bowl first. Jisham Alam, the 19-year-old, 22 from 16, as Azhar Ali, the skipper. Just a little slower to get going, but still out there and trying to resurrect this innings after they lost the first wicket at 2, the second wicket at 11, and the third at 23. So they were in trouble, and we can see the highlights so far. That's where we saw those short balls coming in. But then Tim Oakley went again. It was that third time. Very rarely do you see 3 short balls, and this one produced the wicket. Really good catch from
Great
Tom
catch.
O'Connell, who's now got ball in hand. That was a beautiful shot too. Tom O'Connell continues from the Darwin International Airport end. Haven't seen any RWF displays or anything
Not
so
today.
far.
There was a display yesterday.
I could hear that in the air again, just past the outstretched hands of Tom O'Connell.
Just an update from the other game that's just recently finished out at Kazali's Arena. Perth Scorchers registering their first win in the tournament. 6 for 167 off their 20, defeating the Melbourne Renegades 8 for 153. So
It's a big game too, and Renegades have got a double header.
they do.
They'll stick around for another game, but we ask any player, they just want to keep playing games. They're here for cricket, let's play cricket. Especially if you have a loss. In fact, either way, you have a loss, you want to get back out there, have a win, keep going. And that's through point. I know that all the Big Bash teams and academies and development squads have got it the night off Friday because Pakistan and Bangladesh are going head to head. The Shaheens and Bangladesh A. That'll be a rivalry that we look forward to seeing.
I reckon TIO Stadium will be rocking on Friday night. There'll be plenty of noise. It'll be fantastic to be a part of that one.
Now that's in the air. It's got a long, long way. Has it gone far enough? It has. Hit it very, very cleanly. And it just seemed to keep going and going. It's gone over the fence for 6.
It's that northerly breeze just continuing that ball on its merry way over the fence.
Just initially it looked like it was going straight down the throat of Long Off, but it continued to go and Long Off was no chance. You always know that because the cries of catch it go out early. And then you look a little silly when all of a sudden the catch it means that they're going to be about 6 rows back.
Probably my favourite shot in cricket, that one, Pete. The 6 over sort of that cover, sort of mid-off region, I think. It's just glorious to sit back and watch fantastic stroke play in Darwin here.
Never used to hit him in the air where the fielders were, but it doesn't matter now. Back yourself, hit him over. Wrong one from O'Connell. They tried to hit it to the circle edge, which has always been good, but Tom's been very quick there. That's good fielding of your own bowling. That's very good to keep that to 1. Just a couple of good overs though here. 8 from the last over, already 9 from this one.
See that 6 again. What a cricket shot.
Hit it easy as I like too.
Yeah, certainly not trying to overhit that one.
This one goes straighter. Long on comes around. Chance. Flicks it back in. That is some magical work. That is unbelievable. Took it in the hand, flicked it back. It saved 4. That's remarkable. If we can get another shot of that, it brings up the 50 for Bangladesh from 48 deliveries. But we can have another look at that unbelievable work down on the boundary line, because that's the modern cricketer summed up in one delivery.
And you do see them practicing that, but for every game they'll warm up and they'll practice those boundary rope catches.
So he's gone hard. There's nothing wrong with the delivery. Hit it hard, hit it straight, went exactly where he wanted it to. In the left hand, takes a step, flings it back. That is absolutely brilliant. That's Hamish Case down there, I think. How well captured was that from our camera operators here? That is everything that you want to see in T20 cricket. Good bowling, a great shot, an amazing fielding. All of that was 2 runs.
Yeah, well, saved 4 though, didn't it? Meanwhile, Lloyd Pope's been introduced into the attack here from the TIO Stadium end.
3 for 50. Lloyd Pope took a wicket with his first ball yesterday. A lot of batters seem to try and go with his wrong and hit him to deep mid-wicket, long on region, but never quite get enough of it.
I was just about to say, watch for his wrong, because it is a ball that produces regularly for Lloyd Pope.
Stops in the wicket and just a little bit of confusion, and then a throw which was a touch misconstrued but well backed up. Every team wants the ball flinging around. They want that energy in the field. Probably also want the ball to go to the keeper's gloves. And that's what we're talking about.
it out nice and early. Plenty of bounce. So Popey will be very encouraged by what he's seeing here.
Well taken as well. Good gloves from Matthias.
Looks like there's a bit of turnout there.
We did say these are the wickets for everyone. That's in the air. It's not going to make it to deep backward square, but it will on the bounce. I'll take a single. Again, those cross-patch shots. It's amazing the percentage of wickets that Pope can pick up doing that.
As a junior, you're always taught, well, I was always taught, put the cross-bats away until later in the innings, but obviously T20 cricket is a different beast altogether. Jeez, that's good bowling.
Well, there's just no later in the innings.
No.
You're in and you go. Especially the T20 World Cup, we've just seen you're only winning games, you're going hard for 20 overs. It is the new wave of cricket. Some of those IPL scores. It's going to have to be a quick single here and really good response. How was that? Skipper ready to go. Backing up his younger counterpart, but a good over from Lloyd Pope. Just the 2 from it. 9 overs gone. 3 for 52. Akbali and Jashar Malan steadying the ship here. Partnership of 29 so far. That's what they've needed. 3 for 23 in the 4th over. And that was trouble for Bangladesh. They've steadied while still maintaining that aggressive approach.
Change of bowling again here, I think.
Noah McFadden, who we saw earlier on, coming back into the attack from the Darwin International Airport end. Look forward to a few more flights being on from Melbourne to Darwin and Sydney to Darwin.
Get everyone up here so they can experience what we're lucky enough to be sitting here in Pete.
Oh, absolutely. Just a little hesitancy is probably the word that is easy to say for some, of getting on the 8:30 flight and landing at 1. But if you can just get a few extra flights, get up here in the middle of the day, time for an Arvo Bevy. Struck on the pad, big appeal and gone! First ball back in the attack. Struck on the pad. Not sure he's overly keen to get going, but it doesn't matter because when the finger's up, you're gone. And he's made 26 and he's off.
From where I'm sitting, I reckon that's cannoning into middle stump.
Which matters about as much as what the batter thinks about it.
Correct. Most important man out there in that situation is the umpire.
Oh, that's hit the back pad first.
Yeah, that is out.
And I think Alon thought it hit him on the front pad, and that would be fair enough to be a little disillusioned, but his back leg didn't move, and that cannoned it in front of middle.
The umpire certainly didn't show any form of hesitancy.
No, it's, as I say, easy for some. He was up almost with the bowlers, but that was out. And really, you're so aware, as an umpire, you're so aware of where everything's going. You're looking, if that's hitting, that's out. There's no law for the umpires to say you have to wait a certain amount of time.
Nope.
Take in all the factors, gone. So a good knock comes to an end for Jashar Alam. He's made 26. He's been in pretty good form, the 19-year-old, but gone now, 4 for 52. And that partnership that we said was so crucial has been broken. And once again, Liam Scott pulls the rein. Noah McFadden comes on, takes a wicket with his first ball. Shamim Hussain coming in at 6. And then we just need a little bit of support here. The skip up down the other end. He's 14 from 18. Hasn't been all his own way. But just needs a bit of support down the other end. And a left-hander. Shamim Hussain. He's got more than half the allotted overs to bat. He edges this one, and a bit of a chase down on the boundary for deep third. He'll pick it up just inside, but they will get back for 2. That was a genuine edge, but you can say slightly controlled. Soft hands and gets 2. Shamim Hussain, 23 years of age, actually turns 24 in a couple of weeks' time.
Bangladesh under-19 representative.
He's played He's played four ODIs and 19 T20s for Bangladesh. So certainly one of those players that we talk about having that international experience.
Decent strike rate in T20 cricket domestically of 132. So
we got a nice unbeaten 25 against the Renegades.
at the beautiful Gardens Oval the other day on Sunday.
That is a very, very nice place to play, watch, commentate, be involved.
Particularly on a Sunday with the markets directly across the road at Mindle Beach there.
Can be distracting. Don't often find yourself just wanting the game to wrap up a little quicker, but...
One of the great sunsets in the world.
Oh, yes. 4 for 56. 2 balls remaining in the 10th over. Goes short, and this one's hammered down into the ground. Same slight in stature, but can play the game, and the short ball's not going to worry him. 4 for 57. Fedgenbean's good here, 1 for 7. He's got 1 ball remaining in his second over and leaving plenty of options for Liam Scott, the skipper, towards the back end of this innings. And of course, remembering there's a power surge coming as well. John played into the ground and a ping at the stumps and hits middle stump. No mucking around there whatsoever. That's some good fielding from Jake Winter. And that's the end of the 10th over. So 10 overs gone. The strikers won the toss, elected to bowl first. Bangladesh 4 for 57.
Welcome to the waterfront. There are a million reasons to come. Where the water meets the land, a place to connect, enjoy and relax. Open every day, 7 seasons a year. Plan your next visit to Darwin's tropical resort today at waterfront.nt.gov.au.
Welcome back to DXC Arena. We've got a wonderful multicultural tournament. We've got a multicultural commentary box today as Gurnam Singh joins us in the com box for the first time as Lloyd Pope continues. Well bowled once again. Gurnam, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be in Darwin. Pretty hot here compared to Sydney.
It is. It's even warmer compared to Melbourne and Hobart. Comes off the top of the bat, but they'll get the single. They ping at the stumps. Some good backing up will save any overthrows there. Have you enjoyed yourself? I see you each year up here, which is always good, and there's always plenty for you to do.
Yes, I think this series is getting bigger and bigger. And we're seeing 2 international teams this time. Bangladesh and Pakistan both are rivalries. And we are waiting for this big clash on Friday.
Tries to smash that through the offside. So it's just good to have a little bit of cricket royalty joining us up here for the top end T20 series. Get
Yes. Looks like Bangladesh is looking very...
Probably haven't got away as much as we thought they were going to. They've always looked so aggressive and have posted some good totals, but the strikers are well on top here.
Always. I think last game they have won in a better position. But I believe yesterday I saw the game Pakistan and with the Tasmanian Tiger. It start with the slow and then maybe it's just going to be get a good total in the finishing. But losing early 4 wickets is a bit challenge.
It's the same in every game, isn't it? Losing wickets, it's the best way to hold momentum, it's the best way to hold the run rate.
That's it.
Hasn't changed in any format of the game for a long time.
Absolutely right.
Lloyd Pope continuing here, been nice and sun smart with the long sleeve top on. I did mention it's nice and warm. It's just wonderful knowing what you're going to get each and every day. 32 and fine, easiest job in the world, a forecaster up here. You have to work 2 days a year. To be quick, it's hit in the air down to long off. It'll fall safely, and they'll just jog through for a single at the end of the 11th over. Pope's been fantastic here. His economy rate as Jason mentioned earlier on, has been sensational throughout the tournament. 2 overs, no wicket for 6, 11 overs in, 4 for 61. You've got a busy week, of course. We've got lots going on from a cricket point of view. You've got some things going on away from the grounds as well.
Yes, tomorrow is the Independence Day of India, so it's a big day, and we are celebrating in Northern Territory. Tomorrow also there's a few things happening in the Parliament in Canberra, so just missing a few things, but I think we are, as a cricket lover, we have to be here, support the multicultural community, multicultural cup, and multicultural Southeast Asian community. This is bringing me here.
Absolutely. We've seen plenty of support too. There's lots of flags, and
Yes.
I mean, Friday night will be a sea of green. There'll be some green and white and some green and red.
Right.
But they're looking forward to it. The songs and the music. I'm not sold on the air horn, but I think the music was good.
They might have some Bollywood music on that day.
And some dancing.
Dancing too.
I've seen you dance, girl. I think that's something to look forward to. Will you join in with the festivities, or just take a step back in your official capacity?
No, I will join in.
Of course
Let's
you will.
Let's celebrate the diversity and multiculturalism.
But that's what cricket has been fantastic with as well. I mean, sometimes it does take sport to bring different cultures together and have an understanding of other cultures too.
True. I always believe, sports bring people together, but cricket brings Southeast Asian community together.
And there's a few numbers in Southeast Asia. Don't worry about that. Turned around the corner for one as Tom O'Connell continues. He has been hit for a big six. He's had a couple of, not even half opportunities, but drives back at him in the air, which he couldn't get his hands to. But any drive on the up's a chance to be taken here. O'Connell's a very good fielder. We saw him take a great catch earlier on. That's a little bit full, and that's hit into the gap, and that's going to be four. Really good shot. Picked up the length early, found the gap, knew where to hit it, and hit it perfectly.
That's a very great shot. After many dot balls and singles, they need a boundaries. What do you think the total will be? Look like from here.
It's a good question. They're going to want 140, you'd think, at least on a wicket that's been true. I know they've got a couple of quick bowlers though, as well as their spinners. Bangladesh. That's in the air. That's gone high and long, and once again, it's gone over the fence for 6. That's a great shot.
High and handsome.
High and handsome, just like yourself, Gurdon. That was a beautiful shot. Picked up the length quite cleanly and hit it beautifully over the DXC technology sign. What a beautiful shot. Azhar Ali, who's the keeper. The batter, he opened the batting as well, but now he's batting at 4. The skipper of this young team, he's taking the responsibility on his shoulders. That's a beautiful shot. Go back to back, 4 and 6.
I think Bangladesh should just keep the momentum like this, and they shouldn't lose the wicket from here. And then maybe they are back in the game for a good total.
And then he tries to toss that one up, and that's a fully. Somehow, the worst ball of the 3 gets away with it with 1. How often you see that in cricket? It's not easy as a leg spinner, though, is it? You've got so many variations, so many things you'd like to execute as a bowler, but you miss by just the smallest margin. This is good batting from the skipper, though. Azhar Ali is the backbone of the innings now. Remembering, of course, there's also a power surge they need to take. So we speak about momentum. When the momentum's on your side, sometimes that's a good time to take it. So a good over from Bangladesh A there, 4 for 76. They get 15 from it. That's quite comfortably their best over of the innings. Do you find also in your role, you're finding that with cricket, more and more of the Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh communities are playing with the traditional clubs as well, and the integration has been fantastic as well?
Yes, in New South Wales, I think there is a first time they have launched the tape ball match, tape ball cricket as well, and we were part of that launch. So in India, they have a gully cricket. Australia, they have backyard cricket. Pakistan, they play tape ball. So it's more and more culture, perspective. Cricket Australia adopting that, what Southeast Asian playing back home, and they can use this format to, connect more communities. So this is a very good initiative, and I'm loving this role.
I know you love the role. Takes you to all parts of Australia and overseas as well. And when you're passionate about cricket and people,
Yeah.
Well bowled as the skipper brings himself back on. Liam Scott, he bowled the 2 overs of the power play and only went for 7. He's been in good touch with bat and ball. I love those initiatives, though, and I know, certainly I know in Melbourne, around the suburbs, Sri Lankans have their competition, Indians have their competition, Pakistanis have theirs, but we're seeing more and more the integration of different clubs and different competitions, and it has to be good for cricket.
100% is actually giving more opportunity for people to, joining cricket community.
Tell you what else it does, it makes for a better afternoon tea.
Yeah, true.
You hear a few players from different backgrounds bringing some beautiful homemade goods.
I think Gavin have mentioned that they're doing a multicultural launch as well. That other teams are playing, but it's supported by Northern Territory. This is a very good example. Just bringing community more together. The top end series is one side, then there's a multicultural cup. So it's a really good initiative by the NT Cricket.
Make no mistake, though, when on the field, still rivalries. Just takes the pace off that and that's a wild throw at the stumps for absolutely no reason. Not sure the skipper's overly pleased. He wouldn't be pleased just from a captaincy point of view, but it's also off his bowling, so he's probably not liking that too much. But that's good. It is about getting everyone on board while still realising there's different cultural sensitivities, of course, and still a lot of work to be done. But bringing people together in the common language of cricket, if you like.
True.
Which is certainly a game we all love.
We just love cricket.
That's short,
short
and that
ball.
might be called a wide. It's not. I like that. A little bit of leniency for the short ball. We need to see more short balls in short form cricket. Well, I do know my little fella loves a book called Cricket, I Just Love It. Alison Nicholson, the great, or former ABC broadcaster, now with 7, but on the broadcast. But he's written a book called Cricket, I Just Love It, and it's got everyone.
Really?
Kids in wheelchairs, people from different backgrounds, guys, boys, girls, everyone. Doesn't matter if you want to be the next Sachin Tendulkar or Mead Landing, cricket's there for you. And the late cut down to deep third once again, and we'll run the first one hard, Ali. Won't get back for 2 though, 4 for 78. This partnership moves to 26, an important one for Bangladesh, eh?
My friend is you're talking about the book that connects the culture. One of my friend, he wrote a book. It's called Spirit of Warriors. So there's a story of one Indian family, a kid, and one is Aussie family kid. How they actually, bringing culture together and they're playing together in Australian team. That's the story.
Yeah. What's the book called?
It's Spirit of Warrior and
Spirit
written
of
by
Warrior.
James Knight. You might know James Knight. He have written book of Brett Lee and McGrath.
Well, there's a couple of handy cricketers there that you speak of. 13 overs gone, 4 for 79. Another good over from Scott. He's bowled 3 overs, no wicket for 10. And that's the sort of leadership you're after if you've got ball in hand. That's really good bowling. I love anybody. I mean, obviously the cricket, I Just Love It, is mainly aimed at kids, but I'm reading it as a father to my little fella, absolutely loving it, and then passing it on to my mate who's got a daughter, and she loved it as well, because you can see these players coming through.
Yeah.
Not everyone aspires to play for their country. Some people just want to play with their mate. They want to play local. They want to play Frankston District United thirds, and that's all they ever want to play, because they can play with their friends. They've got somewhere where they belong and
Right.
feel safe. These guys and girls just happen to be better at cricket than I've ever been. So the only way I can get involved in a T20 series is to be on the commentary side. But that's what cricket does. It just opens up so many opportunities and places to travel. You can go as a spectator to Sri Lanka and watch Test cricket and watch the fort surrounding Gaul. And these are things that cricket can bring out in the world.
No, over the years, I think in Australia, cricket strategy has changed and towards shifting to both club cricket to, great cricket. It actually giving more opportunity. You're seeing more Singh and Patel in Australian club rather than
absolutely.
any John Smith.
Yes. And Christian, of course, was captain of Tasmania last night. As much as I'm a fan of the multicultural backgrounds and so forth, I'm not sure about Niv's pink headband. I think that can just get put on the shelf for a little while. That was a glaring fluoro pink. Although you've almost got the purple on the turban today. I've seen you with various colours over the course.
Yeah, it's all about celebrating the colors. It's a vibrant colour gives you a really good.
Your vibrancy has got a lot more to do with yourself than it has with the colour of the turban. But I do like the colour. You can see it from a fair way away. It's more a magenta sort of colour today.
I will wear tomorrow.
Which colour are you going into there tomorrow?
Maybe magenta.
Oh, okay. All the shades.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it indeed. 4 for 80 here in the cricket that's in front of us, which we're looking forward to seeing just how Bangladesh can approach these last 7 overs. Good partnership of 28 between Hussain and Ali. But now they need to go to that next level, and it's up to the skipper to do so. Just plays that bat and hits it backward of point. They run the first one, they call 2-2-2 straight away, and it's exactly what will happen.
They need to continue with this partnership, so they should have at least a good total at the end.
It also come down to probably the skipper who's out there chatting to his teammate. When is it time to take that power surge? And we're talking earlier about the tactics that come into it. It's not just about, okay, let's take these 2 overs now. Do we short circuit it a little bit and get that momentum shift in the favour of the batting team?
Yeah.
And that one's gone even finer. It's going to be more of a chase. And again, they'll come back for 2. A slight fumble. They've run it hard, but they won't get back for 3. So it doesn't cost the strikers anything. But there's momentum, but there's also, hang on, do we want to change the game so much that we bring fielders and bring a bit of pressure upon ourselves?
Yes.
Knowing that you've got to go hard in that power surge. I think it's been a great addition to certainly domestic T20 cricket here in Australia.
Yeah.
That's in the air, and that's gone to the square. There's been so much work out in the point boundary. Picks it up again, and we'll get back for another 2. Despite coming from a fairly warm climate that the Bangladeshis have done, they've been here for 4 or 5 weeks already.
Already, yes.
3 twos in a row. That's still going to push the limits.
I think it's going good, single and double. At least they can take the game a little bit far, and they maybe, because they already lost 4 wickets.
Well, warm weather's warm weather anywhere. 3 twos in a row with a helmet on. It's not easy. This one hit in the air, but just short of extra cover. So 36 from 33, Hussain 11 from 13, 4 for 86. This partnership has been worth 34 so far. Ali probably the dominant player of the partnership, as Ali the skipper, but you'd expect that from a good leader. Liam Scott did it yesterday. Probably didn't face as many balls as he wanted. As soon as he got on strike enough, hit them everywhere. And that's a huge swing. Last ball of the 14th over. So 7 from it. Still a good one from the striker's point of view. 14 overs gone. 4 for 86. Going just over a runner ball. And you'd asked the strikers, where would you like Bangladesh to be after 14 overs, winning the toss and sending them in? 4 for 86. I think they'll take that, knowing how hard Bangladesh go.
100%. I think they have a quick early wickets.
And we see those now. Beautiful segue, Gurner. This is it's like you're born for commentary. But these are the wickets, a little edge behind. Tim Oakley, unbelievably, taking 2 wickets in his first over for the 2nd time in 2 days. Some people don't get to do it for their career. He's doing it every time he turns up. So we're going to see the power surge. And you can see 6 bowlers have been used so far. They used 8 bowlers yesterday out at Kazali's arena. We were just talking about the power surge, just trying to get that momentum going. And I think this is a good idea from Bangladesh. It isn't without its dangers, of course. You're bringing 7 fielders into the circle.
I think 2 set batsmen make this momentum going ahead, and maybe they can have a strong total. I believe they need to have maximum run in this power play to set a good score.
Well, we've seen good power surges and bad power surges. So Liam Scott's going to, once again, lead from the front and take the ball for the power surge. Just the 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. And for the left-handed Hussain, it's going to be deep backward square and deep mid-wicket. All fielders inside the circle on the offside. Big appeal is beating him. We'll just have to see if he got any little inside edge on that. And the umpire said he did. Probably the reason he didn't want a bar of the appeal. 4 for 87. It does bring the dangerous Azhar Ali on strike, however.
Yes.
And they're going with the same field. So a deep backward square and a deep mid-wicket, mid-on and mid-off, both up, as are all the fielders. The 5 fielders on the offside, all inside the circle. It's in the air, and we said it just creates wickets, and once again it has. Ali gone for 36. We said that's the double-edged nature of having taking the power surge. Liam Scott, a little bit of extra pace, a little bit of extra bounce, and with fielders inside the circle, you create chances.
I think they played very. This shot shouldn't be required at this stage.
It's the nature of the power surge, isn't it? You see all the fielders up and you think, I have to go hard, I have to go high. And unfortunately for Azhar Ali, the skipper, he's gone for 36 from 35. A good innings. A couple of sixes and a 4, but unfortunately, it just doesn't quite seem enough from a Bangladeshi point of view. 5 for 87. We're in the 15th over. And it's just another chapter to the book of teams that take wickets in the opposition's power surge. We see it so often.
Very often. Another batsman getting in. Ronnie.
So I see Mustafa Rahman Rody coming in. I know it's Abu Hadar Roni, who was listed to come in at 8. He's been promoted one spot, and that's probably because the power surge is on. And you know that Roni can hit them. One of the games he hit them a long, long way. So he's got the opportunity now. He doesn't have the opportunity, though, to sit around because there are only 10 balls left of the power surge. 2 of them taken up. A single off the first, and the skipper departing from the second.
Oh,
This time it's more of a forehand in tennis out to deep in wicket. Talking about bringing different nationalities and cultures together, bringing different sports together by hitting a little double-handed forehand, but he'll just take the single. I like Roney with the ball too. He runs in and gives it everything when he's bowling. We'll see that in the strikers innings. And it's interesting also watching these teams play. They don't play against each other, so you're learning on the run.
I think Bangladesh have a little bit advantage because they have been here for almost 6 weeks.
That one's hit very, very hard through the covers. I'm not sure it's got enough on it to reach the boundary. It's a long boundary today. And Pope will pick it up just inside. And they'll come back for 3. So they'll save 1. Scott not happy with his own performance there. Just a little bit too much width. And Hussain making the most of it and getting 3. He moves to 15 at a run of ball. 5 for 91. 5 from the first 4 deliveries here. And these last couple of deliveries from an over, these are the ones that either become a really good over for Bangladesh or another one that the strikers get away with here. Slow ball in the air. No. Probably hit into the ground, more of a bump ball.
I believe T20 have a different format that, if you have early wickets, then you don't set up the total. And this is what exactly Bangladesh is facing because their wicket is going continuously, and that's why they are actually 5 for 91 in 14 over.
It's true. 1 for 2, 2 for 11, 3 for 23. All the early wickets you talk of got them exactly right. Shorter. And this one's turned around the corner. Scott won't be happy with that delivery. That's going to race into the boundary for 4 runs. So a good end to the over. 5 for 95. We're 15 overs in to the Bangladesh innings. It's the same every game. Welcome back to DXC Arena. We're halfway through the power surge. The Adelaide Strikers winning the toss, electing to bowl first here today, and they have been on top for the first 15 overs of this match. Bangladesh 5 for 95, only 5 from 3, saying 15 from 15. Liam Scott's just bowled the first over the power surge, went for 9 runs, but he did pick up the skipper, Azhar Ali. Now it's time for the second and final over of the power surge. And that's smashed over mid-wicket. That's a beautiful shot. Picked it up nice and cleanly. It's racing out to the boundary. Picked up just inside, and they'll come back for 2. Tim Oakley, of course, who picked up 2 wickets in his first over, just like he did yesterday. He's taken 3 for 17 from his 2 overs. He also got hit for a couple of big sixes. 3 for 19. Sane moves to 17. Roney 5. I always laugh, one of the Cricket Australia messages that they say during the power surge or power play, watch out for flying cricket balls. Now, I know what they mean. They mean balls that are flying off the bat, but the way they say it, it makes it look like a ball's got wings. It's going to fly into you like a gazelle or a bee or a buzzard. Flying cricket balls. Never seen such a thing. Oh, a little bit of a mix-up. Probably came off the bat too well then. Flew to mid-off. Pete Laser with you. Gurneem Singh joined us. Multicultural ambassador who's been good enough to make his way up from Sydney to the beautiful sunshine. Halfway through the 18th over. No time to waste, and he doesn't. Smashes that backward to square. It'll only be 1. 6 for 117. I say the scoreboard operator doing a wonderful job here at DXC. Beautiful conditions. Not a breath of wind now. There's a little bit of breeze higher up. Not so much in the comm box. Falling straight. Can't do much about
Good
that.
ball.
Sometimes you just got to keep them out.
I think that's a death overs. You need to bowl this to the players so they shouldn't hit 4 sixes, but Bangladesh is actually struggling at the moment to scoring a runs.
Wow, this has been a fantastic over. 6 for 117. There's only 2 left after this. They want to get going. They want to get going now. Slower ball again, taking all the pace off, and again just a single. Just as the momentum had shifted towards Bangladesh, the strikers have wrestled it back.
I think strikers since the beginning of the game, they actually was spot on with the ball, with the fielding. That's make them, to set up Bangladesh in the lower side as a score.
There are so many elements, aren't there? You're right. It's about getting the right bowlers on at the right times. Fielders taking their catches, taking each and every opportunity. It is warm out there, but they've got some great energy, the strikers. Taking some good catches. That's short. That's a top edge, and that's going to go over the keeper's head. It's going to race towards the boundary, and you can't cut that off. Very difficult to set a field for top edges over the keeper's head. And unfortunately for Menenti, who bowled a beautiful over, it ends up going for 7. And now Bangladesh, with 2 overs remaining, a 6 for 122. Hussain 34. Rabi's on 5. With 2 overs to go, this is the crucial part. 130, 135 is what the strikers would love to keep them to. 140 plus would be a defendable score if Bangladesh bowl well.
140 would be a good score at this moment of the warm. I believe that the fine leg and leg side area, this area, I think Bangladesh have getting so much edges. They score almost like 35 to 40 runs.
They have, but you can't really set a field for it. You only have a backstop in if Jason Inglis is keeping. You don't do it when Matthias is doing it. He doesn't need one. Pope to bowl the last over from the TIO Stadium. It's gone miles. Doesn't matter where you put the field. Good. Someone on the third tee is going to pick that up. There wasn't necessarily that much wrong with the ball, except for the fact it's got a bruise in it now. That has gone a long, long way over the fence. The strikers batters won't mind that so much, seeing that you can clear the fence quite comfortably. 6 runs from the most economical bowler that the strikers have had in Lloyd Pope. So you're going to go again. The Saints 40 from 28. Goes again, hits the one flat and hard. Hits it so hard that they may not come back for 2. That's really good fielding as well. Now clean as the fielding out. Ryan King round to it quickly, into the hands, gets rid of it. They only get 1. That's crucial as well. Getting the non-striker who hasn't faced as many balls, isn't set like Hussain is, keeping him on strike. That's the sort of fielding, and this is what you're talking about earlier, supporting the bowlers and just having the little things go right for the strikers. Not a betting man, but I probably think a wrong is in order here.
That's a great
And
shot.
it is. It's going straight up in the air. King's got a chance. Can he get in there? It hasn't gone far enough. Strong throw. So strong it's gone about 8 feet over Lloyd Pope's head. And they come back for 2. That's good running. That's the other way to hit it to the circle edge. Normally you just dab it with your bat and run 2 as quickly as you can. The other way is to hit it miles in the air and no one can get to it. Took off at a rate of knots though. King was never going to get there in time. 9 from 3 balls here. And the full out's hit beautifully. He only had to move 3 or 4 metres to his left, but it's gone for 4. How's the timing there?
Very good shot.
That's the timing of a Swiss-made watch. How about that? Only had 3 or 4 metres to move at deep backward square, but couldn't get there. Beautiful shot. 13 from the first 4 balls. And now we're at 6 for 135. T20 cricket moves quickly.
It's going to be 140 plus.
Should be from here. That's hit firmly down the ground. Will just be 1. Gets Hussain on strike, but all of a sudden now it doesn't really matter which of the 2 Bangladesh left-handers are on strike. They're both hitting them very, very cleanly. So much so that the fielders are actually starting just behind the rope before entering the field of play at the delivery stride. Beautifully bowled from Pope, and that'll just be a single. So he's bowled well without a bit of luck, and then his last over goes for 15. But a good over nonetheless. 6 for 137. Ravi on 12 from 5, Hussain 42 from 30. This is the sort of injection of energy that Bangladesh needed before the last over.
Hossain is on 42. He's going to be on strike. What do you think? Hossain will score a 50? He will.
No. Only because normally in this situation, of course he will. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I don't think he will. Because something about the last over, everyone goes twice as hard as they went in the second last over, whereas they don't need to. That ball's gone 27 metres over the boundary line. You only have to hit it 1 metre over the boundary line. But admittedly, I will say they would like to see it because he's batted well.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
He's been very, very good.
30 for 42.
So these 2 batters came together and they've put on 31, and they've done it in 2.5 overs. 31 off the last 13 and 14 balls. That's what the T20 cricket can do. Minetti, I think that's come off his toe. It's going to go down leg side. And the umpire says, yep, that's a leg bite.
Leg bite.
Puts a dent in Gurnham's barracking for Hussain to get a 50. Stays on 42. So the score moves to 6 for 138.
And that's
150 is probably what they're looking at now. Can they get a dozen more runs from the last 5 balls? And 150 is certainly defendable. When you get the runs on the board, the strikers will also feel they're a chance. That's it in the air and over mid-off. Didn't get a huge piece of it, but got enough of it. In the old days, that would have dribbled about 3 metres away from the bat, but with these new, dry, hard-pressed bats, they just go miles. Even the miss hits go for 4.
It's a good shot by Hossain, and let's move to 46.
No, he's on 12. He's moved to 16 now. That's Ravi who's hitting that. Remember, they got the leg bite.
Okay.
You get too caught up in the personal milestones, Gurn. 150.
I think he deserved that.
150, very much a chance here. Minetti doesn't want it to be so. We're not still inside the circle. Edged and gone. Taken. That's a good field placement there. Placed there for that exact stroke. Cuts out the late cut. Cuts out the little reverse dad that we've seen a lot of, and also is there for the edge. But a really good cameo from Rabbie as well. He goes for 16, and the score is 7 for 142. We have just a couple of deliveries remaining in the over. A leg by, a boundary, and a wicket. We usually do get the fruit salad of all results when it comes to the last over. Just throw it all into the last couple of overs. 15 from the 19th over. We saw huge power surge, 23 runs in the power surge. So the back half of the innings, 4 for 57, is going to turn into at least a defendable target. And their back 10 overs have been better than their front half 10.
Absolutely.
A lot of left-handers in the Bangladesh lineup. It's going to be Hassan to come out and face the music. Rakibul Hassan joining Hussain out there. And does he go the boundary ball, or does he just get Hussain on strike for the last couple? He's gone for the ladder. And that would have been out. That would have been one of the more fancy run-outs you see in cricket. I love after all the good work that Menendi's done, he's taken 2 for 27 from almost 4 overs, and yet he would have been more proud of a little flick back that he's not looking at the stumps than he would have been of any of the wickets he's taken. Clever running though, because it gets Hussain on strike either way for the last couple of balls. So where's he going to look here? There's a deep point, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, and deep fine leg. So he'll either go straight over mid-off or cover, or he needs to be very, very precise with his hitting on the leg side. Mendy's going around the wicket, as we've seen. Sometimes full and straight's always the answer. 2 balls remaining in the innings. Short, and that's hit straight back to him. That is the easiest caught and bowled. You don't even have to practice those. That is a remarkable dismissal, and one that you probably won't find on too many highlights tapes. But a really good knock comes to an end from Shamim Hussain, 42. But he has to depart, and it's 8 for 143, and this has been a really good last over from Harry Menenti. You look disappointed, Gurnham.
I think it's a smart total going to be 150, but that's you mentioned earlier, T20 cricket can go from here to there.
Well, I'm the son of an accountant and a primary school teacher, and even my maths suggests that 150 is going to be hard to get with 1 ball to go, and they're on 143. Definitely. I mean, they hit them well, but it's still only worth 6. Won't I be the laughing stock if there's a wide or a no ball? 1 ball remaining, and it's going to be Wazir Siddique, who's come into this lineup to face the last ball. It's funny, if you're chasing, there's all the pressure on you. But when you're setting the total, there's absolutely no pressure on Siddique here. Free hit. Hits it hard, hits it well for 4. What a great end to the innings, and the boys have liked that too, the Bangladesh team. They've clapped more for his 1 shot than they've clapped for the couple of 40s that we saw throughout the innings. Beautiful shot from Siddique. And that means 10 off the last over, and 147 is the Bangladesh total. A good total, a competitive total, and a defendable total without being outstanding. Strikers will still be happy with their work. That's a great shot from Siddique. Hit it hard. That has smashed into the fence. So the Adelaide Strikers won the toss, elected to bowl first here at DXC Arena, a day game. First of a big doubleheader here as part of the top end T20 series. Proudly brought to you by Northern Territory Tourism. And there's the tail of the card. Shamim Hussain, I thought, batted really well out in the last over for 42. 36 to the skipper. He really carried it through those middle overs. 26 at the top from the 19-year-old Jashan Alam. And then we better mention the boundary from Wazir Siddique, because that got the biggest cheer from the Bangladesh teammates. 8 for 147. You'll notice only 3 extras for the whole innings. The bowling group, Rob Castle and co from Adelaide Strikers, will be very impressed with that. He has gone to Tasmania. You'll still be impressed with his old charges from the Adelaide Strikers. So look at the wickets. There are 8 of them, and they really did upset the momentum of Bangladesh throughout the innings. A little nick behind, well taken. Probably didn't mention Harry Matthias enough with the gloves. He was very clean. Often with the wicket keepers, when you don't notice them, they've done the best job. Batters, of course, never happy when they're given out. So once again, Tim Oakley taking wickets. He did go the distance a little bit, and that was a really good catch. We saw the back half of the innings running back with the wind over or in his face. And then, of course, the last couple of wickets, which you can excuse because that's what needs to happen in these T20 games. That's the most bizarre dismissal we've seen today. 8 for 147, the Bangladesh total. The strikers will come out needing 148 to claim their second win of the top end T20 series powered by NT Tourism. You can see the bowling there. 3 for 31 for Manenti, 3 for 31 for Oakley as well. And McFadden is probably unlucky, only bowled the 2 overs. We'll be back in a short time to see if the Adelaide strikers can chase down 148 to win.
Cricket 365 is proudly supported by Airport Development Group, committed to aviation, tourism and infrastructure in the Northern Territory. Charles Darwin University. Connect, discover and grow in the Northern Territory. Tourism NT, different in every sense. Thrifty car and van rental, proudly driving Cricket 365. And Duke Cricket Balls, iconic, handmade and good for cricket. Cricket 365 is proudly supported by Airport Development Group, committed to aviation, tourism, and infrastructure in the Northern Territory. Charles Darwin University. Connect, discover, and grow in the Northern Territory. Tourism NT. Different in every sense. Thrifty car and van rental. Proudly driving Cricket 365. And Duke Cricket Balls. Iconic, handmade, and good for cricket.
Welcome back to DXC Arena. It is the top end T20 series sponsored by NT Tourism. Perfect conditions, not surprisingly, because each and every day of this tournament is exactly the same. Sky is blue, the sun is warm, and it is beautiful. And we've got a great game of cricket ahead of us, much like most of the games that have been played already. It's Bangladesh and the Adelaide Strikers. The Strikers won the toss, selected to bowl first. Bangladesh managed to claw their way to 8 for 147. Pete Laser in the commentary position with you. Jason Inglis has joined us once again, who was the match managing guru from Cricket Australia and has stepped back so he could represent the big V in overage footy. But you've taken a bit of time to come up here and be part of what has been a fantastic tournament so far.
Mate, it's the middle of August, it's 31 degrees, why wouldn't you want to be up here? Best place in the world.
Yeah, the old bone's just warming up, don't worry about that, a big
Absolutely.
friend too. Big thanks to Northern Territory Government, of course, Charles Darwin University, Airport Development Group, DXC Technology, Thrifty and Dukes, because they have all been wonderful partners. And why wouldn't you get on board when we've got lots of the big bash teams here, NT Strike, of course, hosting, and Pakistan Shaheens and Bangladesh A joining. So many wonderful local cricketers in what has been a fantastic competition, and it is tight at the top. One of these teams will get their second win and join a plethora of teams that have got 4 points on a very, very close table.
It's really anyone's competition for the taking at this point. What are we, 3-4 days out from the finals? It's exciting cricket, some really good talent up here. If you're watching and you're in the Darwin area, I highly encourage you to get down and support your NT Strike team tonight.
Oh,
here
absolutely.
At DXC
Yeah,
Arena.
well, it's going to be big double headers in it. We've got NT Strike and Melbourne Stars Academy. So that's a big one to keep an eye out for tonight. But at the moment, all eyes are on the middle of DXC Arena and to see whether Bangladesh A can defend 147. They couldn't defend against the Tassie Tigers the other night. Admittedly, that was a Jake Doran-inspired event. They posted 166, and Doran got away, posting 70 and finishing with a 6 in the last over to get the victory. But we know they've got a couple of rapid youngsters who'll be flying in to bowl. Just can't without the number on his back.
Don't see that often these days.
You don't. But sometimes there's either long sleeve or short sleeve shirts and you go against what you're after.
So rip on to take the new ball.
Will be Jake Winter. He's going to face the first delivery, and an interesting aspect of these games, not many of these players have played against each other, so we mentioned it a couple of times, just from the point of view if it looks like they don't quite know what's happening, you can do so much research, you play against players so often, and this is a completely different type of tournament where you haven't played against these guys before.
I'm really enjoying the mixed aspect of the international touring teams with the local sort of BBL academies and the NT Strike, obviously, in the comments. Everyone's just playing different opponents like you touched on. It's great to watch, it really is. Fascinating tournament that we've got here.
Well, I know if the CEO of NT Cricket, Gab Dover, gets his way, there'll be an India A side here next year. There might be some of the IPL sides. There'll be all of the Big Bash teams. Might go for a month.
And I couldn't think of a better place to come anyway in August.
It's beautiful.
As the roller starts up next to us.
Of course it does. So we're just about to get going. Winter and Khan opening the batting for the Strikers. 148 required, and it's Mondal with the new ball from the Darwin International Airport end. That's slash backward of point. Not the worst delivery. Very good shot. Well fielded. Good cricket all round. Dot in the book.
Absolutely.
So there's a slip, a deep third, backward point, or a square point, extra cover mid-off.
Been impressed from what I've seen from Mondal so far. He strikes me as one of those real competitor types when they step over the boundary rope. Bowls with good pace.
He's only 21 years of age as well, so plenty to look forward to. And Crick Info probably a little harsh on him. I read he was described as right arm medium. I think he's got a few more Ks than medium.
Maybe.
Not out and out fast like some of his teammates.
Maybe he spent a bit of time in the gym since his profile was uploaded to Crick Info.
Well, we saw a couple of the Pakistan Shaheens last night. They were letting them go.
Absolutely rapid, couple of those fellas. Now that's exciting. Get down and watch that on Friday at TIO Stadium versus Bangladesh A. Highly encourage that.
It's in the air. It's gone straight down the throat of deep backward square and gone. Could not have picked him out better if he had a map. 1 for 1, and again, Josh Carter's fallen.
He had that whole leg side pretty much to hit it anywhere he liked, and sure as anything, he picked the man out.
It wasn't even that great a delivery. It was straight down the leg side, almost on the pads, and have a look, did not have to move. Mondol just making sure that Josh Carter knew where the change rooms were also afterwards.
It's the competitive beast in him, I like that.
1 for 1, and certainly not their start that the strikers were after. The big hitting can't gone. And 2 days in a row, he's fallen in the first over. That's a real shame from a spectating point of view, but also a striker's point of view. The Bangladesh team and supporters, they won't mind that at all. An early wicket, which when you're defending a moderate total, that's exactly what you need to do.
Great catch. Somewhat swirly conditions. This wind has picked up just a touch.
So Noah McFadden coming in at 3. He was good with the ball and he had the 2 overs, but bowled well. And comes from a long line of sporting prowess.
Yeah. His brother obviously on the Brisbane Lions list. Connor for a few years there.
You've had plenty of dealings with his old man as well?
Yeah, Brian McFadden has been at Cricket Australia. Well, he's part of the furniture there. One of the great men at Cricket Australia. The head of men's high performance.
Go for a quick single. He's going to have to hurry. A direct hit could be gone. This is the sort of start that the strikers
did not want. Always the hardest run, isn't it, though? That first one, get off the mark.
Got to make sure your teammate's ready for it as well. I'm not sure Winter was caught in his heels, but he was certainly struggling to make up ground. That was the quickest of quick singles. I'm not sure if he's just saying sorry or, you know, good luck, mate.
Yep.
Either way, they're both still there, both on 1. We're somehow only 2/3 of the way through the first over of a chase. Plenty happening already. Now, the slips come out. Haven't seen the ball move quite as much as we saw in the first few overs from the strikers. Really haven't had a chance to see it swing. Slip goes out to another fielder inside the circle on the leg side. Bit of protection. This time just a glide down to deep 3rd. He'll get 1. A couple of strides into the return, said no, there's only 1 there. Winter moves to 2, 1 for 3. So 7.5 required. You can see a bit of a breeze just picking up. It's funny how this, in the Darwin weather, the breeze can come from nowhere and die off just as quickly.
I've got to say, I've actually really enjoyed the breeze this week. Like, it'd be quite hot, 34 degrees, and then all of a sudden the breeze comes in and just cools everything off nicely for the evening. Lovely conditions.
It's down leg side, turned around the corner, and that'll go down to the boundary for 4. With fine leg inside the circle, you can't afford to stray onto the pads, and Mondal did just that. And now the strikers, despite losing an early wicket, they're 1 for 7.
You can't bowl there in this day and age, unfortunately, especially with only the 2 men out.
Yeah, it is that one spot on the field that you can try and get away with them inside the circle, but as soon as you stray in the line,
It's 4 runs every day of the week.
every time.
Batters these days are just too good.
Agricultural field to the setup today with trucks reversing and mowers going and rollers on the spare wickets. Nothing stops just because there's cricket going on.
It's the NT Cricket ground staff do an amazing job here at DXC Arena.
Gee, they work hard.
And it's an incredible facility. I know I mentioned that in the first innings, but the groundsmen often don't get the credit they deserve, and it just takes one look around this magnificent venue. You really got to appreciate everything, all the hours they put into really presenting what is a truly world-class facility here.
I must say, I love the whole almost suburb of Moral. When you look around, there's just so many sporting precincts all in one.
Reminds me of a smaller version of what's in Melbourne. You've got the MCG and the tennis centre and Amy Park across the road.
We don't have the clay target shooting
No.
arena or the
Pint Club next door.
Pine Club next door. We've also got there's a BMX track undercover. Through. How did that miss? So Abu Hyder Roney, he's 28 years of age and he's got plenty of experience. He's played a couple of one days, 13 T20 internationals. He's got a bit of pace about him. He's again, not the tallest or biggest, but he gets through.
Is that that
Whippy action.
whippy action? Yeah.
Plenty of chatter amongst the Bangladesh A team. They are supporting mate. They know early wickets are the key here. And this is just played down backward a point. We'll get the comfortable single. Winter moves to 3. Virgin 5, 1 for 8. Strikers will be looking to get away with a good start here. They didn't have it yesterday, and it just put them on the back foot for the whole game, even though the game went to the second last ball. You just know that if you're chasing a total, a good start is crucial. It's not just having wickets in hand, it's having your batters in and set.
I've been really impressed by the composure shown by a number of teams throughout the week. I'll just pause there for a sec.
Beats the outside edge once again.
Yeah, just in how they've compiled and gone about their run chase. They haven't necessarily tried to slog their way through it. It's been the Tasmanian innings against Bangladesh A on Monday night comes to mind. Jake Doran crafted that superbly. But it's certainly not alone there. That we've seen that across the tournament, that games are often going to that last over, which is what you want to see in T20 cricket.
Absolutely, and the points table reflects that. And that's struck firmly, but won't beat a diving save at backward points from good fielding. I've just heard his little hand there too, but be okay. Down on the haunches for a touch. Was hit firmly. The new Duke's ball's pretty hard too.
Certainly are.
But what you've seen with the successful chasers, there's always someone who bats for a length of time. They can bat around them as well.
Become that rock of the innings. So one of these two will have to, no doubt, play that role for us today.
Still got some good hitters to come. It's in the air. That's gone over backward point this time. It'll get picked up just inside the boundary line, and there'll be 2. Fedger moves to 6. 1 for 10. And just going to stay within touch, don't you? As you say, you don't have to fly out of the blocks. But we need 7.5 and over from the get-go. You've got to make sure that you're within touching distance of that. Don't leave too much to too few at the end.
As soon as it gets around that 11, 12 runs and over mark, it becomes a tough ask for any team. So they've got one in the sheds early. Wickets will be key for the strikers' chase here.
And the key for the Bangladesh
Absolutely,
defence.
on the other side of the coin.
2 overs gone. That's a good one. Just the 3 from it. It was a good start from Roney, the left-hander. 2 overs gone. Strikers are 1 for 10. They need 148 for victory. The top end T20 series sponsored by NT Tourism. What a success it's been. The Strikers, Renegades, Stars, ACT comments have come up, Perth Scorchers as well. NT Strike, of course, having a side.
I wonder if they're all sticking around post-tournament to go and see the sights of the territory, like Kakadu or Litchfield. What a
It will
magnificent
depend. Yeah, it'll depend
gateway.
on how much cricket and pre-season. I mean, Scotty Boland was saying the first game's in about 5 weeks' time for Victoria. It's just not that far away.
It just comes around so quick these days. But Darwin really is the gateway to the top end. You can see some truly remarkable places from here, all within a day trip. Litchfield National Park, one of those places. Had the privilege of going there myself.
You do have quite a bit more time off than the usual person.
I'm not training like an elite cricketer anymore, Pete. So
Anymore.
Anymore,
Okay, that's good to
yeah.
know. Sun coming on from the Darwin International Airport end. It was well bowled. T20 was going to be the end of the spinner, and all of a sudden every side has at least 2 and sometimes 3. And they're hard to get away. You've got to generate your own pace.
how often do you see that pace off the ball just changes the context of the match? Especially when the ball's actually quite new still. Teams are quite often going to their spinner nice and early.
This one's hit hard down the ground, and mid-on comes around beautifully. Good fielding. I think it used to be a tactic just to try and get through and over.
Dave
Didn't they?
Hussey certainly springs to mind.
Dave Hussey is the perfect example. Once quoted as saying, "I'd never get myself out," which I think would be true.
Yes.
He's a fairly handy batter as well. This time hits it hard through cover. That's a beautiful shot. That's going to race away to the cover boundary for 4. And that was a boundary the minute it left his bat.
Could almost be the shot of the day right there. That's just a classic cricket shot. It was there and he punished it.
The strikers move along to 14. And they'll get the single. Just got across. Slight fumble there. Just a little moments, a couple of little moments in the Bangladesh innings. Both ways, just when you thought they had momentum, a wicket would fall. It was a consistent loss of wickets that meant that the total wasn't 155, 160. The strikers just let 1 or 2 get through their fingers as well.
Did look for a large part of that innings that sort of 120 was going to be where they were going to land, but a couple of big blows towards the back end of the Bangladesh A innings really propelled them to their final score of 8 for 147.
And they got 15 in the 19th over, and they got 14 in the 16th. So they were the 2 big ones. And propel's a good word. I reckon that's exactly what happened. Even a boundary off the last ball.
It's really important that back end hitting in a T20 as well. It means you carry that momentum into your bowling innings. Just every run counts. It's so critical in this format.
We saw that when Wazzy Sadiq just went out for 1 ball and smashed the last one for 4. Huge celebration from his teammates.
Rapturous applause, wasn't it?
You go to 10, you don't necessarily presume that's going to happen.
Just a slight screen change here.
So 1 for 15, 148, the magic number for the strikers to get their second win of the tournament. It's down leg side, and we'll have to re-bowl that. Probably more disappointed he missed out. There's 2 fielders inside the circle on the leg side. Plenty of real estate to be covered if you can get past those 2. And this one's just hoiked into the leg side, but will come around quickly and cut off any chance of a second. 1 for 17. Nice little crowd building here at DXC. Big afternoon of cricket and evening of cricket, of course. NT Strike hosting the Melbourne Stars Academy.
Really looking forward to that one. It's going to be another cracking game, no doubt.
Some good fielding. Well done. So Finished off the over well. Still get 7 from it though. 3 overs gone. Adelaide Strikers 1 for 17. A further 131 for victory, with 17 overs to do it in.
So at the same stage of the game, the Bangladesh A side was 2 for 16, so largely on par, which is where you want to be, as you alluded to earlier.
So Josh Carr, the man out, gone for a first ball duck, caught a deep backward square. Hamish Case listed to come in next. This is a really good battle here. There's plenty going on. It's going to be Bevan Mondal to come back into the attack, this time from the TIO Stadium or Michael Long Academy end. He's got a little slight breeze over his left shoulder here.
He'll enjoy that.
Side screen gets moved. Nothing like getting that photographer to get it done for you.
He's a man of many talents, Patch Clapp. Some of the photos he's taken this week have been absolutely sensational.
Does have a fair bit of natural beauty to work with, but he's got all the equipment to make it ping.
Did you see the sunset shots from?
Yeah. People thought it was a green screen.
Yeah, absolutely not. Can confirm.
I did laugh knowing that that's exactly what a sunset looks like in Darwin. And the amount of vitriol that was going on towards NT Cricket and Cricket Australia saying, oh, I could have done a better green screen job. Well, you actually couldn't get a better natural job.
No.
It's just a little bit weird. The lack of understanding going, no, that's why people need to come up here.
And every night it's like that.
Every night.
I know what I'd be doing. Certainly wouldn't be going to the movies, or you'd be outside, wouldn't you? Every night just taking that in.
Save a lot of money on your wardrobe too.
Absolutely.
Don't need anything with length. So deep backward point going out to the boundary, deep third coming inside the circle. And hits this miles over square leg for 6. Oh, I hope he's booked a tee time. That's gone into the golf course.
Yeah, I got a feeling that McFadden likes it in that area.
What gives it away?
I'm probably not bowling it there next ball, just quietly.
That was a huge 6. That is 6 on pretty much any ground in the world.
That is a large hit.
That has gone a long way.
That clear the front leg to just swing freely through the boards.
Into the top of those trees. That's a very good hit. So how does Mondal respond? Quicker and over the top. That's going to go for 4. Cricket is not a fair game. It never has been. It never will be. Mondal beats him with that one, and yet McFadden still gets another boundary.
Yeah, this format is definitely favours the batters, doesn't it? It favours the brave. It's that is a really good ball from Mondal, to be fair, and McFadden gets away with the top edge over the vacant slips area for another boundary.
Admittedly, he took him on, as you say. There's that risk reward in that element as well. So now deep third. He's got to come back in because they've pushed mid-wicket back as well. So you dare say some sort of pace-off, slower bouncer or something all around those lines.
Back of a length.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought pace on short would be the answer. It hasn't been for the last 2. He goes pace off outside off stump and plays and misses with 5 inside the circle on the offside, and probably thinks he's missed a trick. 1 for 27. It's a solid power play so far. Certainly aided by the 2 boundaries of this innings. Can they make this a big over? The last over for a while where only 2 fielders are outside the circle. They heard something, but I think it was the bat on the ground. Azarali seemed a little more convinced than Ripon Mondal, but the most important person out there to make a decision, not convinced at all.
You ever perfected the ramp shot, Pete, in your career?
Never ever.
No, it's a brave shot. Probably wasn't a shot back in.
Wasn't a shot when I was playing.
I think the most outrageous shot would have been a reverse sweep, or
yeah, I don't think I've ever played that either. And that's a beautiful gliding back foot cut. It's going to race out to the boundary, hopefully picked up just inside from the Bangladesh point of view, and it is. Can they get three? They can't. That's good fielding. Really good fielding to keep that to 2. Still makes for a good over though, 12 from it. And the power play's over. Adelaide Strikers currently in the box seat. They need to be going at 7.5 and over. They're going at 7.25. 1 for 29 after 4. McFadden has been the aggressor here. He's 20 from 13. Winter 8 from 10. They lost Josh Kahn early for a golden duck. But since then, it's been Adelaide Strikers taking it to Bangladesh, slightly in front. Bangladesh were 3 for 24 at the same stage. So a change of bowling for Bangladesh from the Darwin International Airport end. Rakibul Hassan. So the power play's over. 5 fielders can go outside the circle. Loves whipping him off as Ali. Like most keepers, I suppose.
Yeah, some really good signs there for Hassan. That one's gripped quite a lot.
So deep backward square, deep mid wicket and the long on out on the leg side. No one inside the circle aside from the short fine.
There's plenty in this wicket for everyone, as it seems, Pete.
And then long off and deep cover point with 3 inside the circle on the offside. And that's one of the 3. Behind the wicket, there's some good protection, both for the conventional and semi-conventional shots. Don't think a reverse sweep can be unconventional anymore.
Not anymore.
That's just the perfect back foot drive for 1. Winter moves to 9.
My favourite reverse sweep shot of all time probably belongs to Mark Waugh.
Who'd never tried it.
He never tried it, and then tried it in a game and reverse swept it onto his stumps. In classic Mark Waugh fashion. My favourite cricketer of all time. Loved watching Mark Waugh play cricket.
He said, well, had to try it sometime. Yeah. Just got bored making runs. I've never had that feeling.
No.
On the up, sleaze this through the offside with some quick hands. We'll take the single.
Building a really solid foundation here, the Adelaide Strikers. They'll be happy with this start, I reckon.
Well, this is the consolidation period, isn't it? We've seen a lot of times wicket falls during this time. They can change the game. And they certainly don't want to run out for that to be the case. Well bowled from Hassan here, though. Really good control.
We've seen it a few times in this tournament this week, where you lose wickets in clumps, so they're both established batsmen go at, in relatively quick succession, and just how that can put you on the back foot.
Hits this one hard. Out to long on. It's going to be some good fielding to get there, and does, and keeps it to 1, which is even better. So just the 3 from that over. Winter moves to 10, McFadden 21. The Strikers are 1 for 32, and we're 5 overs into the Strikers' innings. Welcome back to DXC Arena. 5 overs into the chase for the Strikers. 1 for 32. A solid start. Solid if unspectacular. But that's all they need to do. 148 is the total that they're after. And Afif Hussain Drubo will be taking the ball from the TIO Stadium end.
Of course, he copped that knock to the hand earlier when he was in his batting innings. So I wonder how he'll go.
As we know, nothing hurts if you take wickets, or if you've got the ball in hand and you're a chance to bowl.
on. Just every run counts in T20.
Certainly does, especially when you've got that moderate pass score, if you like, for want of a better term, 147. It's not a big score, but it's also not on the smaller end. Anytime you're asking a team to get 7.5 and over for 20 overs, there's a challenge in that.
It's just above the ankle bone there.
That really hurts. There's no protection there.
No. Yeah.
Well, they've all got around him, make sure he's okay. They're also just grabbing a quick little beverage as well.
Message is being exchanged between the batters and the rest of the batting group to come there. See McFadden using his fingers to illustrate what's happening with the ball.
Well, he's seen one ball from Sadiq. Maybe that's enough.
He's got it sussed.
Do feel for the players who get injured, but there are a cast of thousands that are there. Can get a little bit of treatment on the sidelines. If we take away the time you're off before you can come back on and bowl, if you go off and get fixed and come back on, you should be able to bowl straight away. That may quicken it all up. T20 games of cricket, the whole idea was 80 minutes in innings. It's 25 past 3 and we're one ball into the 7th over of the chase. That's 2 hours and 25. Unless we have the most lightning 13 overs, I think we might be over time here. Please use your hands. He does. So Winter's 18 from 21. McFadden's been the aggressor, 22 from 15.
Just doing what they need to here, the strikers.
This time tries to flay it through that offside, but there's a short third and a backward point, both inside the circle. 2 of only 4 inside the circle, but they've managed to find them on occasion. 3 dots from Sadiq.
It's a good start.
Azhar Ali, as he's prone to do.
Geez, there's plenty in this wicket for everyone. That one's turned as well. There's turn, there's bounce, there's pace.
I do like how Winters just looked up at his teammate. They didn't know quite what had happened. Didn't matter, he's still out there, that's important. 4 dots. Now gets a single. And that's okay. Didn't want to fall for the rush of blood, think he had to make up for the 4 dots that have already gone. He's still got 13.5 overs you can do that for. One for 42. So McFadden here's had a close look, but hasn't seen it come out of the hand of Sadiq as yet. Was he Sadiq who just had a little bit of work on the ankle, a little bit of a physio attendance. It's fallen straight again. And he asked him to run quickly, but he had to wait for the ball to pass the bowler. He's going to come back for 2. He's taken on the fielder, and that's good running. Had to wait for the ball to get past, so he's still in his crease, but then really put the jets on Winter. And that was some really good running. The sort of thing that can make your score creep up without quite knowing that it is. 3 off the over, though. Still a good one for Bangladesh. 7 overs gone, 1 for 44. At the same stage, Bangladesh were 3 for 39 and in a touch of trouble.
Just keeping that run rate in check. Plenty of wickets in hand here for the strikers. These 2 are looking well set now. Just going through that sort of building stage of the innings where they like to keep wickets at the back end, but they're compiling this chase nicely.
Dubo from the stadium end once again. There's 3 inside the circle on the offside, short fine inside on the leg. And the rest are spread far and wide. There's no one inside the circle from extra cover all the way round to backward or short fine leg. Just hits it quite firmly, so I'll only get the one. But they are spread far and wide here. 104 required, or 103 required now from 77. Young strikers, lads getting a workout on the side screen.
Left-right combination.
That's gone a long way as well. That's a huge 6. Have a look at that. That's one bouncing into the golf course fence. Don't worry about the cricket fence. DXC Arena, not big enough. When McFadden hits them, he hits them.
He got a full swing at that one too, didn't he?
That just sailed into the blue skies. The scoreboard just giving us the beautiful, obvious answer. That's 6. 1 for 51 brings up the 50 from 44 deliveries.
That one's almost 12, to be fair. That is a large hit.
Well, we're just going through where the field are. All that made a difference is how quickly they could retrieve the ball. This one quicker and flat, as we see so often from spinners. You almost know what's coming, but you still got to be able to execute your shot against it. McFadden 30 from 18 here. Now goes the reverse and tries to beat those two fielders inside what was the offside.
It amazes me the cricket shots that they can play these days. A switch hit.
I'll get a single here as it was just pushed softly into the offside. Well, you know my theory on short balls and wanting 2 short balls per batter per over, because I think it'd make for a much better contest.
Yes.
And also from a captaincy point of view, knowing where the field's going to go. It can just be a little bit obvious if you use your short ball early, you don't get another one. Well, I've got one more for you.
You're a thinker. Oh, let's hear it.
Well, it involves switch hitting. I think if you switch it, because the bowler has to tell you if he's right arm, left arm, over or around. The batter apparently doesn't. And that's gone through to the gloves. So that'll be the end of the 8th over. 8 from it, including a massive 6, 1 for 52. Winter on 20, McFadden on 30, 31 from 20. With a switch hit, I think from an umpiring point of view, both sides become the offside.
Yes.
So if you're LBW, you don't need to work out whether it's pitched outside off or outside leg, because if you've gone on the switch hit, you actually become a right-hander to a left-hander, so both sides are offside.
It's a fair argument. But how exciting is it watching someone like Glenn Maxwell?
No, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And they don't do it just for the runs. They do it to change the perception of where they can hit it, and I absolutely love it. But why shouldn't there be just an element of saying, okay, you can do it, absolutely you can. And you should be able to. You're skillful enough. If you can hit left and right-handed sixes, go for your life. But if you get struck on the pad, you could be out.
Yeah.
Left or right-handed, LBW.
Not sure how that...
It makes it easier for the umpire.
Yeah, well...
It's going to hit the stumps, you're out.
You're talking about changing the laws of cricket there.
It's happened before.
It's not a bad argument.
I was arguing, I was just putting forward
No.
You know I love my cricket.
You do.
And just because we've got something doesn't mean it's the best version of what we've got.
No.
Otherwise we never would have had 50 over cricket or 20 over cricket. There's a spot for all sorts of cricket. Apparently T10s as well.
Yeah, I haven't caught much of the T10s, but...
Because you blinked. That's in the air. It's gone straight down to long off. It won't get all the way, though. Sometimes you're happy that you miss hit them a touch. Winter not getting all of it. Moves to 21 from 28. 1 for 54.
It is an exciting time in world cricket, though, when you see leagues popping up in, places like the USA, for example, and teams like the San Francisco Unicorns, and then the Washington Freedom, and these sort of teams that...
It's going to be in the LA Olympics.
Well, how exciting is that?
More exciting than breakdancing. They're going to have to really hurry here and gets home. That's good running. And once again, just take the pace off with the bat this time, hitting to just on circle edge to get 2. 1 for 56.
More good running.
I mean, admittedly, I think any sport would be better than breakdancing in the Olympics.
It's fairly late to the party on ray gun and the breakdancing. To be honest, I was a bit tied up with watching the cricket. But
I love the Olympics though.
I love the Olympics. The swimming.
2 weeks of good TV. A late cut won't beat the field inside the circle.
Yes, the Olympics is only going to get better with the inclusion of cricket.
Big push from netball too. Don't think they're quite there yet, but
Just more Aussie gold for us, I reckon. Bit of cricket, a bit of netball. It's great.
it's the only tournament South Africa's won, isn't it? The gold medal at Kuala Lumpur.
That's
the Common Games.
Is that 98?
98. Hit too firmly, and won't get a run. Another good over from Sadiq. He's put the brakes on here. Only went for 3 in his first over. And he's putting the pressure on here. Now, can he get out of the over? We know Mifedja will be looking to find a boundary if he can. He won't be able to, though. Sadiq's done really well to keep those runs to a minimum. Just 5 from the over. And the score now after 9 overs, 1 for 57. The same stage, Bangladesh were 3 for 52. Not that it's a great comparison, comparing a side that's chasing to a side that was setting a target. Nine overs in.
I think the key number there, Pete, is just the loss of the 1 wicket at this stage of the game. 11 overs still to come. Plenty of wickets still in the sheds. The strikers will be really happy with where they're at.
And I think they've learnt that from yesterday as well. 1 for 1, 2 for 1, 3 for 16, 4 for 16, losing wickets in clumps, as you mentioned earlier, but also early, and then you always feel like you're behind the 8 ball. And I like that in this tournament play with so many games in a few days, everyone's getting an opportunity. If you want to open, you get a chance to open. If you want about 3 or 4, and just because you're dominating, the side doesn't let you just sit in the same spot and dominate.
We've also seen Tasmania have a different captain every game as well, so they're giving these opportunities to young cricketers to showcase their leadership skills as well.
It's going to be Ravi to come on from the TIO Stadium end. Mentioned a little bit earlier on, Perth Scorchers getting on the board as well, defeating Melbourne Renegades. The Renegades have a chance to atone that this afternoon with their second game of the day.
It hasn't helped us sitting back watching from afar, trying to work out who is the team to beat, though. What a comp.
Just made it harder and a full toss to start with. Probably doesn't make as much of it as he would like to. Mifedja moves to 36 from 26. 1 for 58. Still plenty of chat amongst the Bangladesh team. Plenty of support for their bowler, plenty of support for the fielders.
Just on that second game out at Kazali's Arena today that has just started about half an hour ago. Tassie have batting currently and 2 for 60 from 8 overs, so a good start there from Tasmania.
Brilliant. 7.5 and over out there. It's not a bad start, but you would need all of 150, 160, you'd think. In this game, it's the chasing team in the box seat. It's the strikers' game to lose here. And just the one as hits it quite firmly out to deep mid wicket, 1 for 59. But we've seen how wickets can change the complexion of a game as well. We know that Pakistan like taking the power surge early in their innings just to get ahead of the game, if you like. Whereas I think I'd go the other way if I was the strikers here. I wouldn't want anything to change at the moment.
Just have that up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just had a little peek at the stumps there just to let him know. Stay in your crease.
Yeah.
Just lets it get through. So it's a holding pattern, if you like. They've gone 3, 8, 5 from the last couple of overs. Just 2 from half of this, the 10th over. Just want to make sure they don't get too complacent with where they're at the moment, the strikers. They just need to find the boundary. I think if you can consistently find the boundary in a chase, just hold you in very good stead.
Just see that required run rate creeping up.
That's in the air, but it'll be safe, but also So from a Bangladeshi point of view, there's protection on the deep point fence, just the one. This is why Azhar is going to be changing his bowlers around and just saying, you've got to be ready to go when I throw you the ball. We can't have any half volleys or half trackers.
No looseners here.
Because if they cut out the boundary ball, Bangladesh are well and truly in this game. Still requiring 88 to win. They've run the first one really hard. A clean pick-up here will mean there's only one, and that's exactly what happens.
Might have hit that one a little bit too well, actually.
That's what it sounded like. Still plenty of cricket to be played here. Strikers very much in command. But T20 games turn in the space of an over or in the space of a wicket. Last ball of the 10th over. No, it's not. We'll do it all again. 1 for 62. Still 86 required. It's in the air. Won't make it to short third. Oh, there's been a mix-up. Gets back. Not the greatest cricket, any of that. But we're halfway through. 10 overs have gone. 10 overs. 1 for 62.
Welcome to the waterfront. There are a million reasons to come. Where the water meets the land. A place to connect, enjoy and relax. Open every day, 7 seasons a year. Plan your next visit to Darwin's tropical resort today at waterfront.nt.gov.au.
Welcome back to TXC Arena. 1 for 62 after 10. 86 required from 60 balls for the Strikers. This game is slightly on Strikers' terms. However, as we've said, if an established batsman goes, if there's a couple of overs in a row, we've gone 5-5, 8-3 over the last couple of overs. So Bangladesh fighting back. No big overs. And we're going to have the power surge. So they've gone the other way. They're either going to leave it till the end or they're going to go the power surge straight away. And that's what they've done. Speaking of things that are happening straight away, Gurnham Singh, good enough to join us, even though he's put his comms on backwards. There he is, he's back. Goes high and long. Welcome, Gurnham, and welcome back to the crease, Hassan. That is 6. What a shot that is to get the power surge underway. That's the reason they take it. That's the reason. Just a few meetings with diplomats and prime ministers over the course of the last 10 overs, Gurnham?
Yes, I actually just being busy a little bit.
You're always busy. Well, you've come back at a good time because that is a beautiful shot that's been played by Winter. He has smashed that. And he goes again. And again, it's going to be a boundary. This time, one bounce into the fence. What a start this is to the power surge. We saw Bangladesh take 23 from their power surge overs. Well, now we are watching 10 from the first 2 balls for the Strikers. Talk about momentum shifts. So it just seemed that they were cruising a little bit. And now they've got this circuit breaker to try and get ahead of the game, the Strikers.
I brought some luck to the striker.
You have? I was going to ask you if you've got an alliance amongst Bangladesh or the Strikers.
I think both teams are playing good. We just...
And that's in the air, and that's going to be 4 more.
It's a very good over.
It's a very good over from the Strikers' point of view. No, I just thought as a Sydney man coming to watch the cricket, you got Adelaide and you got Bangladesh there. I didn't know if you had an affinity towards one or the other.
I go with Bangladesh.
Okay.
Reason because they are a visitor here. We should go in that side. Adelaide striker is actually going good from the last game as well.
Well, Adelaide don't call Darwin home. I mean, you know your geography, Kurt. They are closer, though, I would admit that. So we've gone 6-4.4 here. Huge over. Winter has gone from playing second fiddle to being the maestro in charge of the orchestra. 1 for 76. How about that? That's another huge hit. That's another big six. Beautiful coverage as we see it go onto the 14th green. We might need another ball. They're going to need to build some bigger grounds. That is a huge over. Another big six. 20 from the first power surge over. I don't know what sort of luck you brought. And I know you said you had a soft spot for Bangladesh as the visitors. Well, the Adelaide Strikers are making DXC Arena their own. Have a look at that surge. That's unbelievable. It looks like a cobra's just poked its head up and it's gone vertical.
That's a very good over.
You are the master of understatement, Gordon. A very good over. He said 2 6s and 2 4. He got 20 off the over. We haven't seen 20 of an over yet. Just keeping the superlatives for Independence Day tomorrow.
I was walking towards the dugout and I see there's a big chat that they have to go in this over. That's why maybe they're just having a message from the dressing room.
It's all very well having the message. The execution's the hardest part of it. But it is good. I mean, that's the sort of communication, especially for young players as well. Getting the message is one thing, but then actually executing upon that, acting on it is really important. We've done it well. I've hit it 20. Hassan bowled 2 overs, none for 10, and it looked really tight and quite good. And we got absolutely smashed. So it's going to be Abu Hida Roni to bowl the second of the power surge overs. He's going to have to come up with some magic here because all of a sudden, from needing 86 from 60, they now need 66 from 54. That's a big change. It's down to just over 7 and over from over 8. Unbelievable. Left arm around the wicket to a left-hander now. When we were growing up, I don't reckon we would have ever seen.
Never.
Left arm around the wicket to a left-hander in cricket.
I think Adelaide striker has a good strategy. They still haven't only lost 1 wicket. And this is exactly, if you have a wicket and you can go high shots, you can play anywhere. And that's a strategy, I think, in any format. I think you go T20, one day and test.
You've got hitters in the shed. Goes hard this time. It's not going to make it out to the coverage on the offside, just the single. But we talk about momentum from a team perspective, but it also happens even from a batting perspective. Winter was, as I say, playing second fiddle to McFadden, who was hitting him everywhere. All of a sudden now, McFadden just lost a little bit of his timing, a little bit of his shape, but Winter has just hit 20 off and over, and now he's flying. He's 43 from 36.
Maybe he's just waiting for the right ball.
Well, he found 4 of them in the last over. Not necessarily bad balls, but certainly 4 that he liked. Where's he going to go here? Long on and deep mid wicket. I think he'll find one of the 3 have to come in. The last thing they'd want to do is bowl a no ball because they don't have enough fielders inside the circle. I've hardly seen any extras at all over the course of the 31 overs. Testament to the bowlers. Hits that hard, but hits it straight to a fielder. That wouldn't have tickled either. Well fielded.
And after 1 wicket, I think they have a very good partnership to, brought Adelaide striker back.
Seems a long time ago that Josh Carr was gone for a golden duck. And they were 1 for 1. 82-run partnership here has changed everything. Bat onto pad. He'll scamper through for 1. Just got to get moving there towards the end, but did. So nowhere near the dynamic of the last power surge over.
See, this is how you actually build a partnership to, take the game to the end. and that's what they're doing. I think they just already have 83 run partnership almost.
Well, they've got ahead of the game, haven't they? That's the key. Ahead of the game with wickets in hand. And still after their power surge, they'll still have 8 more overs to go. And then they can push it around. Then they can take just calculated risks. Still a couple of balls to go in the power surge. It's full.
Shot.
Hit straight to mid-on.
Gone.
And gone. So again, it's not the best ball that always takes the wickets, but it's the ones that they'll celebrate nonetheless. Ronnie takes his first wicket of the day. Timon takes the catch, an easy catch at long on, and after a really good knock, McFadden's gone for 38. And now the strikers are 2 for 84. And once again, wickets falling in the power surge. Ended up having to come forward to take that. It didn't go quite as hard or as fast or as far as Timon thought it might, but took it cleanly nonetheless.
So far they only lose 2 wickets, so that's why they have, ability to go high, playing some big shots to, just use this more scoring side.
It's a good point, because with only 1 ball remaining in the power surge, I don't think they're going to be so focused on what they get from the power surge now. They had the 20 off the last over. That's plenty. In fact, funnily enough, they've scored 22 from their power surge. With 1 ball remaining, they may end up with less runs from their power surge than Bangladesh had, but an over of 20 nonetheless. Hamish Case, who missed out yesterday against the Stars, so he'll be keen to get some runs on the board. He copped a beauty from Anlazark and was caught a second slip yesterday. Nothing like facing a pace bowler with his tail up. He's just taken 3 wickets and he bowls a nice little leg cutter and you get knocked over. But he's got a chance here. And we can see the standings there, knowing that there is a game being played at the moment. That's the Renegades, who are playing their second game against Tassie Tigers. So Tassie Tigers will be the only team that have played alongside Renegades, who have played 5. But then tonight the Strike, NT Strike and Melbourne Stars play, and that'll be another big game here. So here we go, last ball of the power surge. This has been a fantastic over from Rady. And it's going to be Case to face the last ball of the 12th over. Hits it beautifully, that's what you want to do. Get a nice half volley and off stump, a little bit of width, and smash it through the offside for 4. Nice little sider. He'll take that. So now 12 overs gone, the end of the power surge, 26 runs coming from it. 2 for 88. Winters 44 from 38. Hamish Case 4 from 1. That's a good shot first ball. So 12 overs gone here. The Adelaide Strikers in their chase, 2 for 88. We can see with the wind they'll join a huge amount of teams on 4. Admittedly, the Tigers or Renegades will move to 6, but they would have played 5 games. They're playing over at Kazali Arena at the moment. NT Strike and Melbourne Stars, they both play their 5th game tonight. They'll both move, or one of them will move to 6 as well. So it's crucial if you want to be a part of the business end of this tournament that you get the wins on the board early.
100%.
Stay in touch with those teams up the top. So Wazzy Sadiq's going to come back. He bowled 2 really good overs earlier on. Had a little bit of an injury and the ball hit him on the hoof, but no wicket for 8 from his 2. And he's got Winter, who's all of a sudden found another gear. This time he hits it hard through the offside. It'll just be 1. Of course, now the power surge overs are done for the remaining 8 overs. 5 fielders can be outside the circle. I do like the power surge as a part of our T20s here in Australia.
I think it's good because you can score more runs and players in and out. But I think Bangladesh needs to win this game to be in the ladder, so
Yeah,
that they can qualify for the semis.
It's going to be tough. This again is hit firmly out to the sweeper on the offside boundary. He's had plenty of work to do for both teams today.
Bangladesh definitely need a couple of wickets here to be back in the game, because after that big over, I think they are strikers on top of the game.
It's amazing what one big over can do. But we've seen wickets halt momentum and run rates before. And that's going to be a wide. He's going to have to bowl that one again. That was more the temptation ball, but Winter was attuned to it. 45 from 39. It's a really good turnaround of his innings. Patient. When he hits them, they stay hit. And that is a good example of that. Long off only had 15 metres to move and hadn't moved 5 of those by the time it was smashing into the fence of 4. What a shot. Boost to 49. The locals in attendance haven't really been moved by that shot. They may not have appreciated it as much as we did. But it's a beautiful shot. He moves to 49. We've still seen more ducks than 50s in this tournament so far. I'd like to see a few more 50s.
Yes.
A few more raising the bats. Not that they'll get carried away because they're still only 2/3 of the way to their total. But individual milestones help the team no end. What can Sadiq do here? 5 4s, 2 6s. So a great balance to this innings as well. Goes hard and straight. He's hit that beautifully as well. And that'll bring up the 50. Well played, Jake Winter.
What a way to bring the 50. I think he played an amazing shot. A couple of back-to-back boundaries.
Back-to-back boundaries indeed. He had his partner in Noah McFadden going hard, and he played the sheet anchor role, and all of a sudden said, right, I'm going to hoist my sails to the breeze. And have a look at this. He has gone bang, bang in the last couple of overs, has taken over this run chase. Now it's just 49 from 44. And that's just a quicker one. He's hit that over cover for 4. 3 4s on the trot for Jakey Winter.
4 4 4.
When you're hitting them well, I think Sadiq got a little rattled there. Just lost a little bit of composure with his run-up and delivery and thought, I'm just going to bowl a quicker one. And it was spotted easily from Jake Winter, who I think now is seeing him like a beach ball. 57 from 42.
I think Adelaide wants to finish this game early. They don't want to go till the end.
That's the way it seems in the last couple of overs. Tries to go again. And the umpire will say that's a wide. Azhar doing his best work behind the stumps to convince the umpire it wasn't that wide. He wasn't having any of it. So 15 off the over so far. 3 4s. Sorry, 16 I should say. 3 4s, 2 wides and 2 singles.
That's another great over for Adelaide striker.
Now you'd think the composure. Has Winter got the composure just to get down the other end? Keep the strike. Be on strike for the next over. Or just smash it down the ground for another 4. Well, if you can hit them like that, why would you get in singles?
It's absolutely amazing.
That is brilliant batting. He moves to 61 from 43. When your tail's up and you're hitting them well, just keep going. It's another over of 20. We had 2 lots of 20 in the last 3 overs. That is some remarkable hitting.
I think this Winter is playing really good against the spin. And
this is one Winter I can actually enjoy. Having said that, I'm here in the middle of winter, so I'm enjoying winter in Darwin times 2. Beautiful
100%.
batting. Look at that, 61 from 43. And he was 21 from 28, so I think he's got 40 off the last 12 deliveries.
Yeah.
That is brilliant batting. Really is something special. And we have a look at how that sets up the game. 7 overs remaining, so 42 deliveries, and now they just require 41. Got it under a runner ball. We mentioned how important net run rate's going to be with such a tight table. First and foremost, you go the win. Second, you try and do it as quickly as you can. And that's some good batting from Case as well. Get down the other end and get Winter back on strike. Long boundaries here though. Bowling with a slight breeze over his shoulder. throws that into the wicket, and that's easily poshed away for one. Winter 62, 2 for 110. 39 required now. No, 38 now. 148, the magic number. No, his bat was in. And has to go and get the ball, and now he's going to come back for two because you have to be at the stumps and take a stump out of the ground. He's a little disappointed the umpire didn't think that was out, but I thought his bat was back. We'll have a look at a replay there. I thought his bat was back in and grounded behind the popping crease. Did well to get a hand on it, really well to get a hand on it, Ravi, but I think the non-striker was in his crease. That would have been a cruel blow. You can see it there. Beautiful camera work once again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Perfectly done. And you can see quite clearly the bat behind the crease there. Another beautiful shot from Case. Hit it just a touch hard to get two, so they'll settle for one. But the momentum shift that's come with the power surge has been huge here, as has been the unleashing of Jake Winter. There were no warnings like Game of Thrones. We didn't know this winter was coming. But he's well and truly here now. And now just wants the single to get back down the other end.
You can see some nice breeze after seeing Winter is batting very good. Winter has got some nice...
It's not the normal winter breeze we're used to.
I can see.
Northerly just keeping it at 32 degrees.
Nice breeze coming from Winter's bat.
And again, there'll be one down the ground, sprinted off the boundary, wants to go two so he can get back on strike, but won't be able to get it. So Case will be on strike. He's 10 from 6. He's been no such since getting out there either. Scored off every ball that over as well. An important note that when you aren't finding the boundary, you can still make a big difference. 7 from it, 2 for 115. And that means there's only 33 required and 36 balls in which to do it from. So it was at this stage that Bangladesh A took their power surge, and they went 9 and then 14 over the next couple of overs. The power surge already been taken from the strikers, but that has changed the complexion of this match, and now they've gone from being just in front to being well in front of the game. 33 required from 36, and desperate times call for desperate measures. And so Azhar Akbar Ali, the keeper and captain of Bangladesh A, has thrown the ball to Ripon Mondal, who is one of their strike bowlers here. Still only a youngster, but plenty of experience and plenty of cricket behind him. And now he really needs a wicket. Five fielders out on the boundary, deep third, deep cover point, long on, deep mid wicket and deep backward square. So a short fine inside the circle, mid off, cover and backward point as well. .33 required from 35 deliveries. Everything seems simpler from out here. That's hit well out to the cover region. They'll come back for two. A long chase. We've seen a lot of work for the offside sweepers in both innings today. And comfortably get back for a couple. Case now moves to 12 from 8. Even to have the ability to come in and play that secondary role, knowing that Winter's going. He's pretty much scored of every ball he's faced, Hamish Case. That won't beat the field. And of course, as soon as I say he scored of every ball, there's a dot ball in the book. Always happens. 2 for 117. 5.5 overs. Still left to play. 31 runs required. You can make a case for both these batters being set now. Winter, 63 from 45. Off the back of 38 from Noah McFadden, who batted beautifully also. That's more of an outside edge, glided down to deep third just for the one.
I see that Adelaide striker is playing really good against the spin compared to the fast bowling. I think Bangladesh need to play some strategy to bring fast bowler rather than the spinner.
Certainly seems that way. When we look at the little wind viz on the side there, still got Bangladesh at 1%, but that's just because you can't be 0%. The cricket's a funny game. I don't know if it's that hilarious, though. Hits it hard, hits it wide of Long On. It bounces and it gets through the hands, bursts through the hands of Long On, just through sheer pace. It was a good effort down there. It wasn't easy to get around. Gave it everything. Was running quickly, but Hassan couldn't pull it in, and it burst through his hands and went for 4. Winter has struck that so firmly. Moves to 67 from 46. This is the absolute curse, but a chance to be the highest score in the tournament here.
Slower ball.
And hits that hard and wide, but this one will be picked up just inside the DXC Arena boundary rope. Winter moves to 68. That's the 15th over gone. 2 for 123. Around the Northern Territory, and this is the top end T20 series brought to you by the NT Tourism, and the government has got on board. And Winter's enjoying himself here, but now he's hit it straight down the throat of deep mid wicket. It's dropped. That's a disappointing drop. Possibly the last chance that Bangladesh had. I did mention that he had a chance to be the top scorer in the tournament. That was always going to be the moz that was required. And now he's been dropped, and he's still got a chance to do that. Well, when luck's on your side, Gurnham, luck's on your side.
I think you have to win the match to take the catch.
Well, that's catches win matches, just a different way of saying that. You can go with the traditional saying, you know, catches win matches. It's true. It's been that way for 120 years.
Sometimes you have to change the strategy.
Take the catch to win the match.
As we're seeing, the Northern Territory is showing some beautiful sightseeing.
That one smashed over cover. In fact, over the cover fence for 6.
What a shot.
When you see them well, when you're hitting them well, he has made that shot up.
I think
That's how you hit catches to fielders before the game when they're practicing. Stand there and just whack them. That has gone over the fence of cover.
it's winter day today. I know it's summer, a bit hot, but winter is...
It's not summer. This is what's so good about Darwin. This is the middle of winter. Talk about a brilliant winter's day.
So in a hot day, you're talking about winter, and people will saying, what are you up to?
I'm watching this. Moves to 75 from 49. What a shot that was.
Oh,
And this time down on one knee. Might be getting just a little tired out there. It is quite warm. We know that. As we say, you never get too warm when you're making runs. He's made 76 of them. 2 for 132. Just 16 required now. That's good batting from Case. There is no reason for him to do anything other than exactly that. What he wouldn't want to see is his mate throw it away, though. 15 to win. You're on 76. You batted beautifully. Just want to make sure that he just keeps his head here. How often you see these innings end before the chase is complete. And that's gone beautifully over cover again.
nice.
He is timing them to perfection. That's 4 more. That's a beautiful shot. And to think it was but 6 overs ago that it was Noel McFadden who was the batter that the strikers were looking for to increase the run rate. Winter has taken all before him. What a shot that was. 14 from the over, 2 for 137, and now just 11 to win. That is a real stand and deliver over colour. Very hard shot when you've got to create your own pace away from your body and all your momentum's going back. When you're seeing them well, I suppose, you're seeing them well. So it's going to be Abu Hide, Ronnie to come back into the attack, and Ronnie's been good. You mentioned that the pace bowlers have been good and have added something and maybe just created a little more doubt in the minds of the batters. I do have a feeling it might be a little too late for Bangladesh A on this occasion. But we have been seeing something special here. Winter 80 from 51.
It's very hard to stop Winter against Bangladesh bowler. He's hitting everywhere.
He is. That's absolutely true. Sorry. 11 to win. Case is on strike. He's 15 from 12. Winter just having a well-earned breather. Look at that. 10 fours, 3 sixes.
We might can see 100 from Winter.
I reckon that's going to be a great effort considering that there's 11 to win. Get it? How's he going to get 20 when they need 11? I'd love to meet your accountant. Imagine how big my house would be then. Full on an outside edge. That's racing down to deep third. They're going to get at least a couple. Case comes back for 2. The most I could have given you was 96 for Winter, and that's not going to happen now.
Oh no, I was actually confused with the number. I didn't realize. My bad, apologies. But no, I think it's a Winter played really great innings.
Amazing innings.
Everywhere, hitting the ball. And
Case now, he's played the good support role too, hasn't he? Hamish Case came in when Noah McFadden went out. And that was a good partnership. Those two put on 83, so it's not easy to come in after a long partnership and still play your role and know your role as well.
When they lose the early wicket, I think that time we were thinking maybe it's just, the wicket is flying, the wind is blowing, that's maybe it can go anywhere, but they have stood good partnership, and partnership always make you.
Absolutely, that's true. 8 to win now. Smashes this to cover as well. They're going to run the first one hard. Case in, and Ash says no. He screams no at his mate. No one wants to get run out. Certainly not with victory within such short sight. They'll get a single. Winter moves to 81. Case 18. 2 for 141. 7 required. It's been a clinical chase here. Losing an early wicket, but then Noah McFadden joining. Jake Winter out in the middle. Case coming into play, his cameo towards the end. And again, he's just got bat on ball every time he's faced one. Come back for another 2. 2 for 143, 5 to win. But just his intent to come out and go, use the momentum they've already created to support Winter and reach this target, knowing that net run rate will come into it as well. This has been some really good batting and appreciated from the small but passionate crowd that's come to join us here at DXC Arena. Case on 25 to win. Hits this to the left to cover, and in fact they're going to just stroll through for 1. And this gives Jake Winter a chance to finish it on his own terms. A boundary will get them home.
Yeah.
And as we've seen before, how often batters love finishing and flourishing with a boundary at the end.
I think the way he had scored his 50, I think with the 4, maybe he wants to complete that.
We know he wants to.
Win with the 4 or 6.
Brony doesn't want him to.
See, that's a wide.
That's a wide. So now 3 to win.
Looks like he will be going for a big hit from here.
Well, the back half of his innings has been all the big hits. 20 from his first 26 and 61 from his second. A lot of 26 deliveries. It's been remarkable, this hitting. And even this over, just scoring off every ball and every opportunity. Swings and misses, and how often we see it when the game is there to be won. So 17 overs gone, 2 for 145. Admittedly, it's been a really good chase just for losing the 2 wickets. Not that that matters from a net run rate point of view, but from establishing a good top order and a strong presence, the strikers have certainly done that. We see there McFadden 38 from 32. Case has come in and played a beautiful secondary role of 21 from 16, but the story of the chase has been Jake Winter, 81 from 53. Ronnie's been good, he's bowled his 3 overs, 1 for 17, but it hasn't been enough as they have gone quite comfortably towards this total. Ravi's going to bowl once again from the TIO Stadium end with 3 to win. Hits it hard, but covers there, no run. Well, he handed over to Winter. It's just one down the ground and says, Jake, it's all yours.
All yours.
Probably,
Bring it home.
Probably deservedly so, but it is a team game. If the runs are there, you take them. I don't think Jake Winter will mind. He's batted beautifully today. 81 from 53, 2 to win. Does he go large? He goes in the air and hits it very hard. They'll just take the 1, which levels the scores with 15 balls remaining of their chase. There are a lot of 20 overs. They're not going to need all of them. Would have thought that this might be the time that Bangladesh brings everyone in. I haven't. And it won't matter because there it is. The Strikers victorious here at DXC Arena. What a comfortable chase it was in the end. Winning in 17.4 overs, 2 for 148. Jake Winter, 82 not out from 54 deliveries. What an outstanding performance that is. That's the best innings we've seen of the top end T20 series powered by NT Tourism so far in 2024. Really good supporting roles from Hamish Case and from Noah McFadden. Unfortunately for Bangladesh, they'll rue the times that they had the opportunity to score a little bit more, losing early and consistent wickets. They just weren't able to post enough, and 147 was probably never going to be enough today.
100%. I think they have dropped a couple of catches. This is example. They are right now in the bottom. It's very hard to come back again for the Bangladesh.
We know they're going to bounce back though. They've got a couple of big games coming up, which they're no doubt got one eye on as well. But today it's been all about the Adelaide Strikers winning the toss, electing to bowl first, sending Bangladesh into bat, restricting them to 8 for 147. And then, after the loss of an early wicket, they were 1 for 1, but then 2 for 84, finishing 2 down for 148. The story, as we said, Jake Winter, 82 unbeaten off 54 deliveries, 38 to Noah McFadden. But under the beautiful sunny skies of an August day in Darwin, it has been the Adelaide Strikers far too strong for Bangladesh here today. Josh Khan gone early, and he'll be disappointed to miss out again. McFadden was fantastic early, 38 from 32, and that supporting innings from Hamish Case, who scored us off almost every delivery, always turning the strike over, 23 from 19. But it is, at the top of the order, Jake Winter, unbeaten on 82 from 54 deliveries. The Bangladesh bowlers, nothing really that you'd write home about. Ronnie was good, 1 for 17, but aside from that, they'll probably be a little bit disappointed in their execution today. And as you mentioned, Gurnham also, just those couple of chances that went begging as well. Highlights, here we go. That was Khan going out early. That was in the first over, and that's when they were up and about. Bangladesh thought we're a big chance here. Who knows what could happen, but from that point on, it really was all Adelaide Strikers. They didn't go too hard too early. They had an amazing power play, scoring 20 and then 7, so 27 runs from their 2 overs of the power surge. And when it was time to go, Jake Winter really put the foot down and said, it's time to go. peppered the golf course with huge sixes. A little bit of luck along the way, but that was absolutely sensational. And all it does is set up some more intriguing clashes that are coming up. We know the Tassie Tigers and the Renegades are playing over at Kazali Arena, and we know coming up in just under 2 hours, it's the NT Strike hosting the Melbourne Stars Academy. So if you enjoyed this, you'll enjoy that. I don't know if we're going to get another performance like we've just seen from Jake Winter. I certainly hope so. It was amazing to watch. Finished it off in clinical style, taking just 17.4 overs to complete the win. So the 2 points going to Adelaide Strikers. Bangladesh will go home empty-handed from this clash. But as we know, in tournament play, there's always more games to play and always more things to look forward to. Gordon, great to have you here, mate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know you've got a big day tomorrow as well with plenty going on, so we'll look forward to seeing you out at Gardens Oval as well. Justin Langer and Tim Payne coming to join us as well. All the big names from around Australia joining us at the cricket here for the top end T20 series, sponsored by NT Tourism. Great to have the support of the government with so much going on. The festival's still flying, the markets are on, the sun is shining, the nights are beautiful. And I tell you what, the only thing that's beaten Winter in Darwin was Jake Winter in Darwin today. 82 not out from 54 deliveries, an amazing knock, and one that will go down in the memory of all that have seen it. Just seeing the rest of the highlights there from Jake Winter, and what a knock it was. We look forward to seeing you all again back here after we've seen the Adelaide Strikers win with 14 balls to spare and 8 wickets in hand. It is the Strikers who have won this unbelievable clash. Bangladesh again on the end of an unbelievable knock. First it was Jake Doran, then it was Jake Winter. If I was anyone from Bangladesh, I'd be saying, can you not have a Jake in your team? Because that has been the thorn in their side for the last 2 games. Up go the Strikers into 5th spot. Bangladesh languishing at the moment in 8th, but still plenty of cricket to be played in the top end T20 series, sponsored by NT Tourism. We can see there's still plenty of games to be played. Tonight we are back here, NT Strike taking on the Stars Academy. And tomorrow, big day of cricket again, ACT taking on Bangladesh. And that's at TIO Stadium, and that's followed by the Renegades in Pakistan. But over at Gardens, we've got the Scorchers and the Strikers. That promises to be a beauty as well. Scorchers getting on the table as well today. So plenty of cricket still remaining. Thanks for joining us. We hope you can join us for the next game. NT Strike hosting the Stars, and that's at 6 o'clock local time, just over 90 minutes away.
Cricket 365 is proudly supported by Airport Development Group, committed to aviation, tourism and infrastructure in the Northern Territory. Charles Darwin University. Connect, discover and grow in the Northern Territory. Tourism NT, different in every sense. Thrifty Car and Van Rental, proudly driving Cricket 365. And Duke Cricket Balls, iconic, handmade and good for cricket.
Thank you, sir.